what would be really funny if like the actual intro to the show, like in the first AI, like that's just done live every time, and I didn't know it.
All right, yeah, hang on. Let me get my synthesizer out. As we're getting further and further along, and I end up having to listen back to episodes, there's part of me that it's like, dude, do we really need to have this intro? It's so long. Maybe just cut it down to this, the voice going, this is CMN, and then going in back to like the intro music and just like moving it along, because the Aeonic Litany is just it's a bit long.
Man, this Aeon sucks. It's like the Bart Simpson like Gulf War thing.
All I got was a shitty shirt.
Yeah, I was there. It sucked, man.
In the first Aeon, I was the Great Spirit. In the second Aeon, men knew me as the Horned God, Pangenitor, Panphage. In the third Aeon, I was the Dark One, the Devil. In the fourth Aeon, men knew me not, for I am the Hidden One. In the fifth Aeon, I appeared before you as Baphomet, the God before all gods, who shall endure to the end of the earth. In this new Aeon, I appear to you as CMN.
Imagine that there is a brilliant white light just above.
Is commentary on the magic art.
In the years of the primal force and the dawn of terrestrial birth.
Oh, that was very educational.
Now magic will take place. Don't be fooled by what I just said.
Welcome, everyone. I am Silent Majority Kennedy, and this is Chaos Magic News, the internet's busiest occult podcast nerds. Joining me, as always, is my spiritually sexual co-host, Deep Throat Chorfa. How are you doing, Chorfa? Podcasts are a construct. Oh my god. Also joining us by contractual obligation is disgraced former executive producer, Gary Creates. Gary,
hey guys.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I got a new gig with Subway coming up. I'm pretty excited about that.
You're going to be Gary Fogel.
You know, all this extra free time has really allowed me to, expand my reach, grab life by what I want to take. I'm really excited for it.
Well, just you don't get too comfortable. Like 2027, that contract will be up, and then what are you going to do?
Renegotiate.
Ah, shit. I didn't think about this.
Yep. Joke's on you.
And also joining us, very special guest. Is it me?
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
It's Pink from the Discord.
Salam alaikum. Hello.
Salaik Islam.
My sister would love that.
I love how right before we started, I was talking about, man, we need to probably trim down the intro. Getting into the show always takes so long, and it's like, well, have I got news for you, buddy?
Hey, man, you gotta get it where you can. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to be here, even though I'm being held against my will to be here. Like, they got me at gunpoint. I'm strapped to a chair with a microphone.
It's called a shotgun mic, first of all, Pink, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd stop with your plosives.
It's a shotgun to me. That's what it is, for sure.
It's a shotgun mic, but it's just a shotgun with a microphone duct taped to the end.
Yeah, it's an SM58 with like a double barrel just ready to go.
God, the new saw sucks. What the hell?
I don't know where I'm going with this. Don't you understand? Steiner was on Rebirth Island. We had to kill Steiner. Victor Reznov.
You were tickling Gary.
On that note, Candy, you gotta remind me. I found something really funny about the Epstein stuff, guys. So remind me about that later.
Okay, yeah, gladly.
What an ominous sentence.
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoilers.
That's what the episode's going to be about.
Yeah, if everyone can read titles, we're not really like spoiling anything.
I can't read titles.
Yeah, this is an audio podcast. What are you talking about? I'm blind.
Yeah.
Just call this episode definitely not about Epstein.
Totally not about it.
Yeah, I'm just finding this episode as like an unmarked link, right?
In the files.
It's like a deep web page.
All I know is I found this unmarked hard drive and I hooked it up and this started playing.
There's 10 brick-shaped images, and this played.
Yeah, no, this is the hard drive James McAfee buried.
Was there ever any video evidence, not to like derail it all, but like, was there any video evidence of McAfee's famous hammock situation?
I have no fucking clue, actually.
I don't. Yeah, that's something that I've never considered.
No, that's he's more myth than man.
Well, this is a loaded question because I actually happen to have these files and I have them ready for our Patreon exclusives. So come on in and come on down to McAfee's Lane for the hamper time of a lifetime.
Jesus Christ.
The One Piece. It's real.
Damn it.
Oh my God. Okay, but
what is our opening discussion?
Given the nature of this episode, we're going to kind of talk about the intersection of conspiracy theory and the occult. It's kind of the language of the day, ain't it?
Yeah. I don't know why I said that so begrudgingly, but yes.
You're like, damn it. Well, yeah. I mean, it's a bad time to be an occultist and a conspiracy theorist, really. You kind of only have one thing to talk about.
It's like, yes, proven right, but oh no, proven right.
Oh no. It's a great time to be a spooky woo-woo and a conspiracy theorist because you just, whether it actually makes sense or not, whether you're actually correct about anything, you do get to just go, I'm right. And like, no, most people are not even going to challenge you.
No, boo boo.
It's like Stephen King, 11/22/63. It's like it's like the linchpin moment of the universe where things got altered that can't be undone.
That's the Epstein files.
That's how this Aeon got fucked. He thought it was Harambe.
You thought that was the moment?
The entire notion of occultism is situated in the fringe for a reason. The type of people that are going to be interested in anything that borders on an occult practice are at least going to have some sort of passing familiarity with other fringe ideas, whether that be forms of radical ideologies or conspiracy or, just alternative lifestyle. Like it's just sort of baked in. Also, in the wake of our ascended masters, like Robert Anton Wilson, who wrote Illuminatus, made a career not only in exploring the ways in which consciousness could be altered and how practices such as meditation, along with ritual magic and stuff like that, are able to cause change and conformity with will, but he also made a big career out of exploring the nature of conspiracy, where he has that famous quote of conspiracies happen all the time. That's a reality. It's the and I'm paraphrasing, but it's the notion of the grand interconnected overarching conspiracy that seems to be the real issue. But that doesn't stop most people. I think the crux of this episode is going to be that there's a large amount of people that are convinced that at the center of all of this is just a black cube and a bunch of guys just jerking it in robes, I guess.
Isn't that the Baal group? Isn't that what they do?
Yeah. Moloch, Baal, and
it's like Nookie, but that. Like with blood.
Say it all for the Nookie. The Nookie.
Fred Durst is not in the files. FYI, just putting that out there.
Good for him.
I searched his name in all his aliases. I don't know why I just stuttered and had a stroke there, but
yeah. Anytime you hear somebody like misspeak, what's actually happening is the Mossad agent is like hovering over their neck with like the knife, and they're flinching.
I don't know what you're talking about, but let's move on.
Don't worry about it.
I think the problem of occult conspiracy theory as a grand totalizing narrative of economic, historical, and social change is that when you look at the most influential occultists throughout history, they're far more influential on things like pop culture than anything else. And that's not to denigrate the power of pop culture, obviously. It's a big thing. It's a big social pressure. It's something that if you want to affect change through the world, yeah, pop culture is a great way to do it. But are you really trying to convince me that because Aleister Crowley was on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, that like that's proof that the elites who control the world are Thelemites?
I think that just means the Beatles like cool people.
I think they just wanted to put somebody on there and people knew who Aleister Crowley was.
Like an edgy dude, yeah.
If there's anyone you really want to point to for that kind of crazy shit, it'd be like fucking David Bowie fearing for his life from Jimmy Page.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
Shit
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, fucking yeah, literally.
Yeah, the possessed pool. He needed a white witch to purify it.
And that's part of the issue too, is that even the most prominent occultists that you can think of in terms of fame and success, generally you get on the level of people like David Bowie, Jimmy Page. If you want to say actual occult authors and teachers, there's people like Crowley, there's Dion Fortune, there's Spare, who lived a life of impoverished obscurity.
All three of them died in poverty, massive poverty, because it turns out there's not a whole lot of money in occultism. And if you don't believe me, go look at all your people shilling books right now and begging for reviews. It's because they need money.
And that's the problem, is you look at this, and there's no doubt for for most occult practitioners that there is something to these practices. But generally, you're going to be very disappointed if you think that somehow magic is going to be your key to a life of solid gold Bugattis, especially with cases like Crowley, where he had money and he squandered it. I won't say squandered it. I mean,
He squandered a lot.
Well,
of it.
I think
A
the
lot of
lesson
it.
that can be taken away in a good chunk of cases is don't let L. Ron Hubbard near your mind.
Yeah,
True.
very true. Or your wife, or your boat.
Yeah,
But-
none of
Or your
those
jazz
things.
band.
There's very few cases of these organized occult groups. One, these organized occult groups, as much as they are quote unquote secret societies, they always find a way to end up getting pulled into the light. And then when you find out what was actually going on in these groups, what happened was a lot of backstabbing and bickering and shit that you would expect from an occult group. Anyone who has spent more than 15 minutes talking to groups of occultists.
Well, another thing that I think people is really funny is when people act like there's this secret cabal going on that's all organized around these practices, but these practices are more mainstream than they ever have been before in history.
Oh,
All right?
100%.
Where's the secret? Where's the secret? I mean, how many times do you hear about this shit in like all sorts of media? Half the time, more than half the time, these people that are referencing, like, I was going to say Station to Station by Bowie, but actually he isn't a cult. Different shows and movies that reference this sort of thing. There's autobiographies and all that. And most of this stuff is not written by people who even give a fuck about it, Where is the secret in any of this? Why aren't they just openly practicing? If Joe Biden is a Satanist or something, why aren't they just doing that right on the front lawn of the White House?
The argument always comes down to the people that are really involved in this secretive cabal of witches that run the universe or whatever, or the members of the black...
That's based, Dune.
Yeah, the members of the Saturn cult that are sacrificing their children. These are people that, it's so secretive that they can't actually discuss it and they can't talk about it. But their influence is far spread. And we'll get into this when we got to the culture piece. But I think it really does come down to a very basic thing. Conspiracy theorists, when it comes, not conspiracies of the idea of looking where does the money go, when you have questions of conspiracy with a lowercase c versus conspiracy with a capital C. We have a desire with the capital C conspiracies to just make the universe a lot cooler than it is. We want it to be some sort of battle between the righteous and the evil, or at least like the interesting and the equally interesting of, oh no, these are massive egregoric battles. These are wizards battling and squabbling over the very fabric of reality. And there's intrigue and espionage and it's all sexy. And it's not. A lot of the times the dictating factors of how things like wars break out and how countries are toppled are very humdrum and sad, because we all understand how the real capital C works here. When groups have all of the money and the influence, and they're able to leverage that to control political machinery, things like this happen. And that's been the story of humanity for at least the last 100 years. A little bit before that too, honestly.
I'd wager the last couple thousand, but
I mean purely on the sort of global scale that we're dealing with now.
Right.
There was a time where it's like, yes, King Edmund does control all of the resources in this area, and he has leveraged his influence for this, and he got himself a nice new wife from Poland, but there was a limit of how much he was capable of doing, even under the best of circumstances. But now, no one could have foreseen global financial systems or nuclear weapons.
No one could have seen the internet, or like
the internet. That's
You already gave the Robert Anton Wilson quote, so I'll give the Terence McKenna paraphrase. Conspiracy theory is like a epistemological cartoon of reality. Like, isn't it so simple to believe that the world is controlled by the Greys and we can solve all of our technological problems by trading DNA or bodies of people and so on and so forth? Or it's the Communist Party or the Freemasons. It's so easy to explain away all of the real problems of political economy, resource management, and human social relations if you can just pick the bad guy, or not even the bad guy. You can just pick the person that rolls the nickels, I deal the cards. If you can just pick the person or the group that holds all the power to do everything they want, and then any issue can just be summed up by, well, it's what they want. Then you can work backwards from there, because then any crazy thing that happens in the world, you can just come up with some rationale based on, the Rothschilds wanted microtransactions in Fortnite.
They wanted those V-Bucks, baby.
Yeah, it's really silly. And what it comes down to, I think, is a will to believe, right? And there's another great example of this sort of thing in conspiracy theory. It's UFO people, right? Like, alien folks they're the poster child of bad conspiratorial thinking. And if you don't believe me, just spend 20 minutes on Reddit looking at UFO stuff. They believe anything you put in front of them without question. Not every single one of them, obviously, but there's a sizable portion of these people that just will believe any claim made, no matter how outrageous.
The worst part of it is they've reached a point where truth is impossible to prove to them.
Well, it's a defiance of, we've gone past this point in a lot of cases, I think.
Yeah. Well, like the thing I was talking with Kennedy last night. Okay, so who heard of the aliens in the Miami Mall story?
Yes, I've heard
aliens,
of this. I know that.
And aliens invaded a mall in Miami, and like there was a ton of police outside, and then the story was scrubbed. How do you scrub a story? Like, how does an event in a metropolitan area that like shut down a whole shopping mall and all that, like, how does it just disappear except for like images of police cars outside?
It makes you wonder. It does bring the conspiratory hat on of like, what kind of power does that require?
The truth is that like it just, nothing really actually fucking happened. Like, that's
right.
The honest part of it. Part of it is a mistrust of media in general,
which they should, by the way.
I mean, yes, you should, but it's like, to the point, it's reached a point of irrationality where anything can be made up and quantified, and the internet itself is not secure. And that, like, if you take a video of aliens, like an alien walking down the street, and upload it to Reddit, everyone that sees that will magically forget it exists. It's like the neuralizer kind of shit, or like SCP, any sort of like weird thing that gets uploaded that wasn't meant to be seen. Not only will it get taken down unilaterally, but also like all proof that ever even happened is just gone.
Except for like the one person on Reddit who's talking about it.
Except for the one guy, and they just slipped through the cracks.
Or they let him be because it gives like credence to their fact that it didn't happen. It's one crazy guy.
Yeah.
Or it's this group is being indoctrined to know the truth, but exemplify it in a crazy way because of how absurd it is, and there's nothing to back it up.
And my thing too is that, like, if they really had the ability to just do all of this, make everyone by the millions forget something, it never happened. It's like a spell and everything goes back to normal. If they can actually do that, then like honestly, what's even the point of resistance anymore? Like, because that's their thing, is they want to resist the order, and it's like, how do you even fight that?
Yeah, how do you fight an enemy that is so powerful that they can just get rid of anything that happens to you? The aliens could come into your house, kick you in the balls, and then wipe your brain, and you're not going to know shit about it. Like, what? Give up.
Oh, then just keep hurting your balls. Your balls will keep poundingly hurt.
It's that way in which many conspiracy theories ultimately turn into disempowering narratives that allow you to feel like a special somebody because you have this knowledge that not everyone else knows, while ultimately enforcing the idea that you can't do anything about it. That's what most people that believe in these ideas are left with. It's like, yes, I know the truth. You got to open your eyes, and the rest of you are just sheeple. It's like, well, what are you doing about it? Nothing. You can't stop them. But to go back to the ufology thing real quick, Bill Cooper, notable author of Behold a Pale Horse, I think he's a really, really weird example of a lot of things where he seemed to earnestly believe a lot of what he was saying. And I think it does come down to a bit of that idea of like that desire to believe, but also he was an associate of John Lear. John Lear, who was the son of Bill Lear, who is when you hear Learjet, that's the Lear.
Oh.
John Lear was his associate for a while, and then an incident happened where basically a sort of puff piece hoax ha-ha story that Lear and another one of his friends had put out to sort of muddy the waters and mess with other people that were also into UFO conspiracy stuff. They put out a sort of a red herring thing. Then Bill Cooper starts regurgitating the information from it because he goes, this is a thing that I read. And then in his head, he morphed it into, no, this is secret documents that I got my hands on, and this happened to me. And John is like, Bill, you got to stop telling people about this because I made it up. And he's like, no, what are you talking about? You didn't make this up. This is a true fact that I, Bill Cooper, author and conspiracy truther, know. So you end up with people that are not even the arbiters of this knowledge. Behold a Pale Horse is one of the most influential conspiracy books. It's got everything. It's got government control. It's got aliens. It's got AIDS epidemic was manufactured. It's got government coming for your guns.
That one was true, by the way.
It is like the right-wing conspiracy paradigm. It starts it.
It's got everything. But this man was an arbiter of all these ideas. He was a big cultural hub, and he was one who was just as guilty of all this stuff, of just sort of taking something that sounded good and just running with it. And you could make the argument that it's like, oh, well, he was a shill and he didn't care and he was just trying to sell books. But I think it's a bit more complicated than that, because I don't think that Bill Cooper thought he was completely full of shit.
But you know what's funny is that, like, Behold a Pale Horse honestly has some really amazing insight into the ideas of like manufacturing consent through conspiracy. And it's like you get like a lot of really great material in it, but you have to read between like some of the most insane fucking claims possible to then reach that, like, the truth nuggets, I guess, truth nukes.
The rational kernel of truth in all of it, as Chris Catrone would say.
And Pink, that's perfect, because that is getting to my second point. The big issue with a lot of these conspiracy theory people that spread these ideas around without any discernment, without any real thought to them, they exist as a smokescreen for real things that go on. There are real conspiracies that happen every single day.
Oh, yeah.
They're happening in front of our eyes, practically.
A great many of them are happening with no conspiracy, just happening in public, but they are drowned out in the information saturation of the modern landscape. Even pre-internet days, the most radical fringe of conspiracy theories were being used as a means by intelligence agencies, like by people like the CIA. They were being actively used to discredit and muddy the waters of actual conspiracy. conspiracy. So much of the UFO conspiracy as it exists today is stuff that was promoted because it distracted. It's like, hey, government testing some kind of spy craft over a military base. Nah, man, that was little green men.
No, they're little dudes.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Yeah, and that's where a part of this comes from. And honestly, going back to like the conspiracy theory of the occult, everyone's like a fucking devil worshiper that like kills children, anything like that. It's even more pathetic because the government actually plays into the alien shit, but they don't play into the occult stuff at all.
They could be mixing and matching, and that's where they're failing. We need to put some occult space warriors out there.
Now you say that, but
out here.
But QAnon, for example, is totally that sort of there's the satanic pedophile cabal at the top of all of this that's behind it, the deep state, and they're all involved.
I mean, there definitely is stuff that like they're playing into with QAnon. Basically anything like whole 4chan related, as we found out in the files, is like all just a goddamn psyop from start to finish. The CIA had like Satanist groups that they were working with, but it all came back to like, they don't actually believe in anything. They're just here because it's like, hey, we need somebody that's willing to like, I don't know, fuck with like the black community. All right. So we're going to hire these guys. Yeah. And it's really no different than like why they work with like violent white supremacists, because these guys are they're the crazy ones willing to do all the dirty shit.
They're easily manipulated into doing stupid, insane, violent, crazy shit.
Yeah.
And we want to be the ones that tell them where to go.
Right. But think of like, what are the actual legitimate, like spooky things that the government has put out to play into that sort of stuff? Not much. There's like, you can see the reality patterning stuff in like the CIA documents, but most of that is stuff that just got declassified or leaked rather than put out in an effort to give misinformation.
We do know that over time, the U.S. intelligence, the military, and things like that have wasted a lot of money trying to reproduce psychic powers and things like that.
Yeah, Stargate.
Yeah, we do know that they've blown a lot of money doing stuff like that, but I don't think there has actually been nearly as much to do in terms of we got somebody to do what we would consider magic. We had a guy stare at a wall for a long time and try to do remote viewing and stuff like that, but no one ever. I haven't seen enough reports of the CIA. It was like, and then he put on the robe and he intoned the name of gods, and
he told us what Stalin was doing.
Yeah. Not enough of that, sadly.
How's Stalin doing? He's dead, dummy.
No, it's real, but it's like all hidden away, dude.
Right,
it's real.
Yeah.
It's totally
the stuff
real.
If this is what they released, imagine what they didn't.
It's on James McAfee's hard drive.
Now, William S. Burroughs has a piece that I believe it shows up in the Nova series, but I'm not 100%, where it's talking about a sort of CIA secret agent type going to one of his superiors with a sort of medicine man shaman that can curse somebody and then they die, and they go, what do we need that for? Who cares? It's like I can spend an afternoon with somebody and show them how to use the heart attack gun and just kill somebody in a day. If I want somebody dead, they're fucking dead. What do you mean? This asshole spent the greater part of 60 years to learn how to throw a curse. No one can. I don't have time for this. Get this nonsense out of here.
I'm gonna throw my curse a loaded gun.
Yeah, and I think that in a way that's part of the things. Like even if and I think everybody here to a greater or lesser extent believes in the efficacy of occult practices. You can make spooky woo-woo things happen.
Yeah.
That's great. We're all thrilled about it. It's done wonders for me. It's given me a podcast to babble on about. But
Babylon.
The people that have access to again the Havana heart attack gun and satellite imagery and all of the money in Christendom, they don't really need it, do they? If they want somebody dead, they're dead. If they want to invade a country, They don't go up to the altar and say Abrahadabra Venezuela. Like, it's fine. They don't waste their time. What do they need it for?
They got a drone full of like AIDS-filled cat piss. That's what it is. That's it.
This is totally unrelated, but I'm like, in this moment, I'm reminded of the fucking Death Note one shot where the U.S. government like tries to buy the Death Note. Yeah, and they have not Donald Trump as the president.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It goes back to something that I say a lot in the Discord and other places. It's yet another quote. Chris Hyatt saying, if you honestly and earnestly practice magic, you will find that doing magic oftentimes is a lot harder than just getting off your ass and getting a loaf of bread.
You have to clean your room.
I want a Pepsi, damn it.
My name is Jordan Peterson, and you have to clean your room to get your life together.
And that's sort of what it comes back to, is these are the controllers of the material world. These are the people that have all the resources, all the power, and not in some sort of grand, totalizing, conspiratorial way. I just mean people that have large amounts of money and political influence. They got names, they exist, and they often have problems with each other.
Yeah, great many of them, even the people that work together, quite often hate each other's guts, which we will see. And then you multiply that by a couple thousand globally, and then you tie in things like national interest, historical beefs, the ways in which culture, money, and military might rub against each other in bad ways. And then you realize that, no one is really in control in a totalizing way. It's just large, powerful groups squabbling over the massive graveyard of this planet.
Right, and they don't need magic for that.
Even if some of them do have a passing interest in the occult, which I'm sure some of them do, it's just simply not an effective avenue when you have things that are much more direct. Magic is often the tool of the dispossessed because they have very little recourse outside of it. And people that get good at magic generally do because they dedicate a lot of time to it because they don't have other meaningful avenues. And that's okay. That's totally fine.
I would also say, though, it doesn't exclude in its disenfranchisement, though, either. You could still be a billionaire fucking do shit that does, I'm not like disagreeing,
there's absolute, I'm not denying that there are members of what we would call the elite that have interest in the occult that even practice, but simply that the things that they do are probably pretty comparable to the bullshit a lot of us do. And when it comes time to topple a country, they just do that.
Right. They're not getting together for the seance. They're getting to the war room and figuring out something.
Well, if anything else, they're doing what we do when we have material interest in our world that we're trying to affect by magic. We might be doing the magic, but we're also going to go to the job interview,
Right. We're going to do the laundry.
And also I would point out that much like the thing we mentioned earlier of like, why isn't Joe Biden just doing his satanic mass in the White House if he really cared that much? Quite often in the idea of maintaining alliances or social capital, however you'd want to describe it, even the people that are into this shit are probably not super vocal about it in the same way that there hasn't been an atheist president in America, but there's definitely been an atheist president in America. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I will say in regards to that, Jimmy Carter is probably the most religious president we've had, only because he knows he was going to hell after he was out of office. So he spent the rest of his life trying to make up for it.
See, Trump's almost the same way, except he's not making up for it.
That is in stark contrast to all the others who are like, I don't give a shit about this.
That's so funny. Also, didn't Jimmy Carter eat like nothing but like oats and fucking he was like an ultra bland man in regards to food for some reason, if I remember correctly?
God, that would fit his character so much if that's true.
Is it to stop him from masturbating? Is it that sort of thing?
No, I don't think he was all up on the Quaker shit that way. I think it was
All I know about Jimmy Carter's diet is that when he was in hospice dying for over a year, one of the few meals he would eat was peanut-flavored ice cream.
Maybe I'm getting the wrong president. You guys know I don't know existing.
This guy isn't even American. He's talking about presidents. You know what I mean?
Whoa. You can call me the guy from Subway because that's my current deal, but you cannot call me non-American. I am USA all day, every day, baby.
As attested to by the fact that he doesn't know all the presidents.
Yeah. Go ahead. Name one. I won't know who you're talking about.
Well, you know what? We'll see what ICE has to say about this.
Whoa. Hey, the only ice I have is in my glass, okay? With my red, white, and blue Gatorade, so... I'm sorry, Prime.
How is it red, white, and blue?
Well, it's like a brown color now, but...
Just like America. I love it.
I just noticed that. Like, what do you need? How do you make it a colored mix? It's like food coloring that like bounces off each other, so you just get like these stripes
slightly
forming
different
in the water.
He does the fancy bartender layer drinking stuff for every single one of them. He is so dehydrated because it takes him an hour to pour a Gatorade.
1/3 of this glass is actually just olive oil. That's food dyed.
Worst opening discussion ever.
No, I think this was very productive. I will say it is really funny how like the last episode was about aliens and this one we're opening about aliens, but in a different way.
Right. See.
You know, actually, that makes a good point.
Shout out Flint Dibble. Shout out Flint Dibble.
Wherever you are, wherever you roam, where the Dibble roams.
We hope you're doing well and you got a big old tick on you.
I'm just imagining her like wandering. It's like fucking Rambo. Just like wandering across Canada.
Just out to find that milk in a bag.
Is that good for an opening topic? Are we good?
Does anyone have any parting thoughts on conspiracy, or are we good here?
I think they're all true. I think we should all believe them, and I think we should make more of them all the time.
Look, all I'm saying is every alien conspiracy is wrong, but I still want to know what happened in that backyard in Las Vegas.
Me too, brother.
That happened. I know it.
That one
I know it.
Definitely.
All three of you are fucking feds. That's what this is.
Can't call us now, can you, boy?
You're the Fed.
That's why you don't want us to believe the Black Saturn alien cube theory.
Yeah, you just don't want to be part of the cool kids club. We're going to go touch wieners later, and you're not invited, so...
You know what is a field that it would actually be really amazing if the government, like, started playing into? Like, ghost hunting.
That'd be so fun. That'd be so much fun. Oh, my God.
Fucking ghost... They got, like, Joe Biden on, like, an episode of Ghost Adventures.
Listen here, Jack.
Oh,
listen here, Jack.
My God.
You're a goddamn spirit.
Zach Bagans becomes like a fucking Fed. Like he's got like a cabinet position.
I'm feeling it, dude. I'm just not...
He's still wearing his Jinko jeans like a motherfucker.
I'm just imagining, like, Zach Bagans is like, I'm feeling something's coming over me. Just not feeling right now, man. I love this country.
I'm just imagining Pam Bondi showing up and being like, I sense a lot of aggression in this spirit, but do you understand how high the Dow is?
Spirits, can you hear me? Can you hear how high it is? Can you hear it's over 50,000?
You see that device on that table there? All right, it'll light up the more you interact with it. I want you to light up the amount of lights in relation to what the Dow is doing right now. Oh my God, all 5 lit up.
Whoa. We got a stage 5 fucking positive capitalistic gain.
Hey, Kennedy.
Yeah.
When I said all 3 of you are feds, that should be your cue to just put the music in there, and we'll move on.
No,
I think that's a
come
great.
On. No,
this is where you're gonna actually cut it, right?
Yes,
at that when he says
that.
No. I had one more thought.
Go for it.
Not really a last thought, just a comment since we're talking about it. Dude, I would so love to go to that fucking museum Zach Bagans has in Vegas.
He has his own museum?
Like haunted objects.
Oh,
like
and it's just shit he put his fucking balls on. That little piece of shit. I'm so down.
No, I want to go there just see what's like, you know, because a friend of my mom's like work friend, they actually went there while they were vacationing in Vegas. kind of a weird thing to blow your vacation on, but whatever.
It's kind of rad. Honestly, it's a little based. I'm a little jealous.
She went there, and like what happened was they went through the part of the exhibit where there's the dolls that you're not supposed to look at them. And she didn't know the rules, so she was looking at them, and she said, like, it felt like there was a third person in their hotel room that night.
Ooh,
yeah,
spooky.
Like, I don't know, probably scaring yourself. All I'm saying is that like he has a museum in Vegas, and that's also where the aliens were at. So coincidence?
I don't fucking think so.
Yeah.
I love the idea of going to a museum or any kind of art installation where they say, hey, this corridor, you can't actually look at it. Like, walk by it, but don't you dare. Like,
literally,
really
like
spooky.
the only thing you can do at a museum, and you're told not to.
Yeah, it's a little like avant-garde, and I kind of really dig it. Like, as an idea.
I didn't even really thought about that. That's like an art piece in its own right. Like, yeah, no, art that you're not meant to look at.
Kennedy, who's the big light installation guy?
James Turrell.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
that dude's It's like anti-Turrell.
Oh, it's all like absorption of light.
Yeah, it's just making shit dark and hard to look at the entire time. Like, don't even look at it. It's like it's not worth it. It's all fucked.
Super soft, fade, blurred shit.
I don't know who that is.
Pink, do you remember when Hotline Bling came out? And you remember that music video?
Oh, he did that?
That was a ripoff of James Turrell, though.
They totally aped the type of light installation stuff that this guy makes.
Oh,
but this guy is a fascinating individual.
I did not know that.
Wasn't he raised by he grew up in like a Quaker community?
Yeah, he was a Quaker. He's also a pilot. He also made Rodin Crater, if anyone remembers what that is. It's like a huge fucking crater just out in the desert. Kanye was funding it.
Yeah. Okay, I do know what we're talking about then. Sorry. I was on it first, forgot, and then now I know what we're talking about.
Yeah. I found the one thing I think about Quakers that is still just astounding to me, and I've heard Robert Anton Wilson talk about it. I heard Philip K. Dick talk about it. I've heard Terrell talk. This entire notion of like literally just sitting there until you would be in these sort of communal things, like you're gathering as a community, and you'd literally sit there. Everybody just sit in silence until the spirit came up in somebody and really compelled them to say something meaningful. And I think that's a very fascinating thing, especially someone who is essentially an entertainer or a performer, where I have to fill the silence even when I don't have anything important to say, ever.
South Park Scientology bit, like just have it on screen. This is what they believe.
This is what Quakers actually believe. Except it's very beautiful. Well, now it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the show.
It's the part where I'm just sorry. I had to stop myself from saying something much more inflammatory. No. It's my favorite part of the show. It's your favorite part of the show. It's where we roll up our sleeves, we take a deep breath, we invoke journalistic excellence, and we ask, what's in the news?
What is in the news, indeed?
We'll get to it immediately, but it's like he's saying you almost said something more inflammatory. He just drops like a slur out of nowhere.
What's in the
It's everyone's favorite part of the show where bleep bleep bleep.
What's in the
All right, well, we have a lot to get through this time because we actually have not only co-hosts providing the wonderful yuck headlines, we have the popular news of the day, but we also have some global news from Pink.
Indeed.
Here, local news. Local. I know you're listening. News for you. No, but U.S.
The local news is that he's just here.
He's been here the whole time, just not saying anything.
Local news is I miss you. So, okay, silly. Maybe not quite the silliest headline, but it's the first one I landed on. Gallup poll ends presidential approval polls after 88 years.
Yep.
Not a good sign.
Yeah, that.
How will we know if they're good or not? Like, that was the way I knew And now
You're
if
just
they're
gonna
not
have to
reporting,
you're just gonna have to do like the other poll sites, dude. The like billion other ones. Yeah, sorry, Gallup's fucked.
I'm gonna have to go
Yeah.
like to Cashy or something and start like putting money on it or something. I guess I got to do that. I guess I got to gamble.
Just going to Cashy and seeing like how likely it is that Donald Trump does something people approve of. You're like, ooh, those are pretty steep odds.
Yeah.
Genuine question. Do we think that part of this comes down to the polling in the modern age seems to have a lot of hiccups and hangups that just make it seem a lot more unreliable than it was at one time?
No, I think it really comes down to they were absolutely friend. They got a boss call and were told to shut that shit up.
Yeah, 100%.
Because their reasoning, it makes no sense. They're talking about I don't actually remember what the reasoning was exactly, but it was like some weird thing. They're talking about like the financial viability of polling. What the fuck does that even mean?
Those are barely words.
Yeah, that's basically what they're talking about. So they absolutely got the boss call and were like, hey, quiet down on this. You know, the president doesn't like.
But the counter of that is there's all, like you just said, the billion other polling sites. Is it just, oh, no. Gallup is the name that people recognize?
Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing is that like Gallup, like I don't know how much they actually care about polls saying that Trump is in the doo-doo water, you know. But Trump himself might.
Yeah,
and
100%.
As we all know, he's kind of like cuddled away from everyone else. And he only like, when he's forceful enough, gets glimpses at everything else. So I'm like, you know, Gallup is kind of the big one. You know, like he would have known about that for
That's
like
the
decades.
one he'll recognize. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a really
exactly.
good point.
I could see the tweet now where it's all caps. Gallup is telling lies and manipulating me with fake news to say that I'm not the most approved president. Hit send. Thank you.
That's so fucking real, though. It's like a signature of a time frame. Like you're right. That is a seven. How old is he now? Like 85,000 years old. How old is he?
He's 103.
A little younger than that. Let's be fair, a little younger.
He's like 89.
I think he's like
7.
73,000.
But still, like that is the definitive. He'd put on the boob tube, put on Nick at Night, and fucking yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry, the
Nick at Night?
Nick at Night got me.
Well, it's orange, and he likes kids, so
This guy, you know what? Trump is a boring enough guy. He would be fucking watching Nick at Night over like Adult Swim.
Oh, totally. He'd be scared of like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You're just
He's
hearing
like, where
it.
what
it's
even
just-
is this?
He's probably mad that Gilligan isn't on Nick at Night anymore.
Kennedy, that kind of says something about your age. Aqua Teen Hunger Force hasn't been on the air in like 10 years. Like they don't even replay
Didn't they bring
it.
it back? I thought.
No.
Okay, well, never mind.
What?
I'm
Yeah,
old.
they did. It's Aqua Teens Forever, whatever the fuck.
Now, okay. Here's also here's the other end of that. Who has TV anymore? Who has cable anymore?
Yeah, I haven't had cable
Boomers?
since I was in my early 20s.
I haven't had.
You guys like don't have brain chips that let you come.
I get free cable with my building.
Yes.
So.
Pink steals
Or it's not cable,
from
it's
his neighbors.
satellite.
It's not a theft because no one's getting hurt. Wait, that's not what that means. Never mind.
As we move along, staring at the distant fires of the Twin Cities amidst the confrontation with ICE, there has been an announcement that ICE will start stepping down and de-escalating their occupying army within the cities, within the area in general.
I'm right here. I'm like in the fields. It's like, it's crazy out here. All right. It's like the fucking Tet offensive. They are getting destroyed. We're in Hawaii City, and the MacB compound (Whipple Federal Building) is getting raided by the NMA and the Minneconk, like right now.
They will give you a medal, GI, but only after you are dead.
Look, what I will say is that the ISIS troops, there's been reports of things like the people thinking that the sign-on bonus was going to just be handed to them when they put their name on a dotted line and put a mask on. There are people that they're not getting the health care that they were promised.
They're not getting paid at all, apparently.
Some of them aren't getting paid. They're being totally demoralized. People are showing up and setting off firecrackers outside of hotels so they can't sleep. They got their air horns and their whistles and all this stuff. They've been demoralized. They have been constantly fighting with the people of the city.
Yeah, it's been glorious, and it really shows how strong the people are in situations like this, because they really have not been able to do anything. And I mean, we all knew that, like, deporting a third of the population of Minnesota or whatever, especially when they're mostly American citizens, because like 90% of the Somali American community, they have American in their name, like they're American citizens. So it's like, that was never going to happen, but they haven't even reached the like 1% of that, not even like the 0.1% of that. They've done like what, a couple thousand people, most of whom have left already. Most of whom have like walked free now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not to make light of the people that have been fucking.
No. It's awful,
destroyed,
but it shows that these
it is
are
awful,
ineffective.
but it's like
they're ineffective. They're not even good at this.
Yeah, if you're an ICE agent in the Twin Cities right now, you can't. Well, I mean, they're probably not. There's not really any left, but if you were like 2 weeks ago in the Twin Cities, you couldn't go outside and take a piss without like 400 cameras on you and at least a riot of people forming.
And this is important to remember for everywhere else in the country, because they're going to try it everywhere else. They're going to try it anywhere they think they can get away with it. It's important to remember that ICE is getting a huge boost in funding, and there is a genuine drive to create a network of what are essentially concentration camps. These are just, little tent cities that they can slap a bunch of people in, and they're going to do what they can do to fill these up. And thankfully, what we've shown is that they're not very good at it.
We know that, like, what will happen, all right? Obviously, what's going on is bad. But, like, I don't know, maybe it's the optimist side of me, but, like, after seeing all that has happened and all of the great community organizing that's taken place, they may be getting, like, infinite, like, money glitch going on their side and all that. But, like, it just doesn't help the fact that, like, people don't like ICE agents don't like their job. They're not fucking, people aren't joining, they're quitting, all right? And, like, think of how much resources they have burned on just this one thing in the Twin Cities, and the Twin Cities isn't even that large. Like, they're going to Philadelphia, last I heard, was the next one. Dude, do you know how bad it will be out there? Like, they think they're getting PTSD from here. It's gonna be even worse over there for them.
All of our Philly fucking people out there will make them wish they have never been fucking born.
Yeah, they have guns. Like, we have a lot of guns here, but they have way more over there.
Ultimately, it is a sign to remember that if the people really don't want something to happen, they can and will put a stop to it, or they'll at least give them a hell of a fight every step of the way. They will make it so inconvenient, demoralizing, and painful that they will try to do, they'll do whatever they can to make it look like they got to win. They'll say, oh no, well, they let us into the jails and they let us do this, they let us do that. And it's like, no, we definitely didn't get our asses handed to us. We definitely didn't get made a fool of.
Nope, our mission was accomplished.
Will Stancil will personally, like, clone himself 1,000 times and just follow every agent around.
Mr. Anderson.
I'm so sorry, y'all, but I just can't, because we said Philly, I can't get the mental image out of my head of, like, some dude in, like, a fucking Eagles cap and an ECW shirt just, like, beating the rabid shit out of some ICE agent.
Hey, you like that shit, don't you big old chump?
EDP 445 gets a redemption arc. He just beats up an ICE agent.
Well, I did come here to get a cupcake, but
oh my god.
Here's a cupcake, bitch. He just shoves it down her throat.
Yeah. Man. I've had a lot of criticisms about the optimism of this. I'm very doom and gloom. I just am, as a person, as a leftist in America. I kind of have to look at the history of this country and be like, we are doomed. But if nothing else, there does seem to be a growing popular movement that could legitimately resist the totalitarian regime that is ever closer and will only get smarter and learn more lessons. And if you're going to be hopeful about anything in this world, you can be hopeful in the people around you, I guess.
I believe in us. I believe we can do some good shit.
Yeah, no, I believe in us. I believe in us too.
What do we say every episode? Focus on where you're at. What can you do? How to keep people alive, how to keep people fed, how to keep people safe. You do that and things are going to be okay. They're not going to be good. They're not going to be great, but we going to make it. And just remember that when, sadly, it sucks because right now it's up in Pink's end of the woods, but when it comes to your part of the country, keep that in mind. Remember. It's like, if those fuckers from Minnesota can do it, you can do it. You got it. They're from Minnesota.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Minnesota was promised to the population of Somalia 3,000 years ago. That's all I'm saying.
That's sacred land. Yeah.
They tried to take what was rightfully theirs, and they got their ass beat by the Somali Defense Forces.
Those cheddar bricks over there are actually like stones of greater architecture from yesteryear. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, what else we got?
Do we want to talk about how co-host was right and co-host is right about things when co-host says something's going to happen and then it happens because he was right?
Sure.
Yeah.
What were you right about this time?
Well, give some context. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Right. No.
That's just a story in its own.
That's just the news. the NPR headline. Co-host was right because he's right about everything, and he's always right, especially when he's
right about stuff that he said was going to happen. No. If anyone remembers the episode where we talked about the Etsy witch curse and Charlie Kirk, and I said Etsy is probably going to see the writing on the wall and be like, this is some real bad publicity. And now I did make the point afterwards where I said, turns out Etsy tried to do this once already and it didn't work. But now there is at least anecdotal evidence that Etsy witches are getting their shops removed from the website.
Wow.
And the ban on spells as a service is actually leading to some people losing their stores, having their accounts locked out and things like that. And I said it was going to happen. I called it.
The way I see it is that, like, obviously it's fucked, but I can't really say I'm shocked. I mean, this really does just come down to, like, it's either a mixture of, hey, this is what the market is showing that all the trends are leaning towards, or, hey, please don't sue us, all right? Please.
I think it's going to be something similar to the Patreon banning like kinky and adult content sort of thing. It's probably just the goddamn fucking credit card processors being like, no, this is bad shit and you can't do it and we'll fucking shut you down or whatever, or we'll stop serving you.
They backpedaled pretty quick on that too, right? Or they remodified the agreement or something? Or...
What, Patreon?
Yeah.
No, I saw a bunch of people that I loved get fucking tanked and they're hurting for it.
Wait. So what's the difference between like, because there's definitely Patreon, or is like the difference being like nude photography and artists?
Well, the problem is the same issue as Etsy is probably dealing with right now, is that it's not anything concrete. It's sort of whack-a-mole.
It's ambiguous.
It's sort of whack-a-mole where you could be getting. I guarantee you, if I go on to Etsy right now, I can still, because they banned sex toys is the other thing, like a lot of adult content, but you can still find like fucking dildos and weird stuff on there. You can find a ball gag that
there's a bajillion, on it. And I mean a bajillion garage kit things on there, all illegal technically. Like,
right, and I can find 100 assholes that have a picture of like a sexy witch lady holding a single tarot card, and then it's just like, pay me $25 and I'll ask this chat bot to do a reading for you. I guarantee you that stuff's all over the website right now. It's just going to be probably something like if someone reports you, or if you're doing X amount of business, or if you just happen to hit some sort of automated algorithmic flag, they will possibly shut down your store. And that's so much of these sort of content bans across storefronts and the internet in general. YouTube is another example. A lot of these things are, it's like, yes, there is a ban in place. There's something in the terms of service agreements that says you're not supposed to do this, but most people get away with it. And then occasionally you stick your head out and there's the hammer and it just goes thwap, you're done.
Yeah.
I would say there's two things I want to say with this. And the first one being the ability to have that much more net worth because of this gray market experience makes me think that this will stick around in some perpetuity, right? Because I still want to make money as Etsy. So I'm not going to like be totally upset unless someone tells me about it. Exactly the same point you just made, right? But there is something really weird happening right now with data collection and harvesting and scrawling and things like that. We will see an impediment of this on a mass scale at some point on all these platforms, just because of the way that technology is advancing. Part of it could be there's not enough resource to manage this kind of filter.
I'm sorry, hold on. Clarify here. You're saying that you think at some point it's going to give way and they're just not going to be able to handle it? Or do you think that like technology's opposite of that?
Technology is going to make it easier to just mass ban people for this sort of thing, which I completely agree with. And I think that most of the internet is going that way. To bring up another headline that's important to us over here, it's very similar in scope as the facial verification and ID verification for Discord coming through. And it's just because the technology to make that happen is getting more available and easy to use.
You know, though, the thing is, though, that's nice is that a lot of these things, it really comes down to this is what they want to do versus, our main market doesn't like that.
That is true, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of hoping that they'll undo it because, like, they're losing millions of dollars right now.
Well, that's why I think it still stays a gray area. I think that's why that still works currently, is that the technology has not made it to a point yet where we can go, oh, sorry, our hands are tied until you tell us. We don't know what we're going to do about this.
Yeah.
Discord isn't going to be the anomaly that somehow this is okay, because other websites have done something like this and gotten massive retaliation. They've lost money. They've lost their user base. I doubt that they'll undo it. What they'll probably do is that they'll make it so innocuous and so unnecessary that it will be like most of the people, it's like, well, yeah, you can if you really want to, but most of the bullshit you're doing, you're not going to need it. And I think like even right now, the CMN has a Discord, and I don't think anybody is going, if you're in our Discord and you're debating about giving Discord a picture of your driver's license, just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. That's very stupid.
Don't ever do that.
For a lot of reasons.
If you're going to like at least try and give him a picture, like, I don't know, just do like Charlie Kirk or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We'll put up a PDF file of a Charlie Kirk driver's license that you can print out and cut and make like a boof one.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal. We're not doing that.
And to circle back to the sort of the thing that we were saying too about if their marketplace, if their user base really has a big enough issue. It's like, yeah, this is what we want as the forces from on high dictating the business. But I think in a weird way, if Etsy gets enough pushback, they will probably, I'm sure it'll still be on the books. They'll try to save face because this has been on the books since like 2015 or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's a constant pressure point.
I think a lot of these will disappear. And again, I will also correct myself. It's like anecdotally, so far I haven't seen anything much like, I'll use the TikTok example. There's a lot of people jumping up and down hollering that TikTok is censoring leftist viewpoints and you can't say the word Epstein and stuff like that. And I'm not on TikTok for a lot of reasons, especially not now. But so far, we haven't seen anything definitive about it. There is a sort of online paranoia that develops where something minor can happen and people will spin it out of control, or in some cases people just make shit up and then everyone will repeat it.
You think people go on the internet and just lie?
Well, it goes back to the way we're talking about that desire to believe. I am 100% that the people that are controlling America's TikTok now are not people you should be trusting with your data, with your time, with your anything. But I don't know if that translates to they're doing massive censorship on the platform either.
Right. I think this happens with everything in any software or service. If the market doesn't like what this one is doing, a new one will take its place and be the gray market stopgap until it gets pulled. I mean, it's a not a shuttle game, but it's a umbrella game, or what's the fucking corporate thing? Shell game, yeah.
Squid Game.
Squid Game.
It's a squid game. Yeah.
It's a squid game.
But I think in a way, if whether we're talking about Etsy, whether we're talking about Discord, whether we're talking about TikTok, there is this real thing of once they have a lion's share of the available users, right? You go, all right, we've got it now. We're a de facto monopoly. They really don't know anywhere else to go. Now we can do the bullshit on them. And I think time and time again we find that no, people are more than willing to fuck off somewhere. I mean, look at Twitter. Twitter's a fucking open dumpster fire now. Not that Blue Sky is God's gift to
look. We all know Threads is superior.
Yeah,
I see some crazy shit on Threads.
Truth Social.
But you can watch these things splinter, especially when it comes to little bullshit like social media or somewhere to sell your stupid shit. They're not hard to produce. They're not hard to make. There are Etsy alternatives if you want to sell somebody a fucking spell jar or like I'm going to jerk off to a sigil to make your boss have a bad day. You can do that outside of Etsy. And arguably, Etsy's already kind of a shit website anyway. TikTok is already a shit app anyway. Discord is already a shit app anyway in a lot of forms. It's
what is it called? The inshitification? Of everything?
They're just not shit enough yet. But every time you do something stupid, you push that threshold a little further and a little further and a little further.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But, on the opposite side of that, if they can't control the internet, they can just try and kill the internet. Like, that seems to be a solution they're working on. Did you see that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is proposing that Section 230 needs to get, repealed?
Oh, wow, really?
No, holy
fuck.
Yeah.
That just happened, 2 days ago. Yeah, he was at a press conference. And
why him of all people?
I don't know. Well, his arguments, the funny thing is that, his arguments made no sense because they had nothing to do with Section 230. He's talking about, we got to stop giving power to all of these tech companies and, social media giants, algorithms and all that. It's like, okay, but that has nothing to do with Section 230. You can protect kids online and not repeal Section 230. A lot of people were joking that he was doing it for Israel. I don't know. I don't think there's any evidence of that, though.
I can relate this back to the TikTok thing, the Discord thing, not so much the Etsy thing. I don't think Etsy is banning witches for Israel.
No,
but,
they just want to not get sued. And
not yet.
But there's the mention.
Yeah, what's funny is Israel would push that, though. They would be on that shit.
Magick.
But there is the argument that one of the first things that's going to get censored on TikTok is, you can't say bad things about Israel now, and you can't mention Epstein, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. Again, I'm not on TikTok. I haven't seen the evidence. I'm not saying it isn't happening. And then also the thing with Discord is the idea of, they got a new CEO who has connections to Israel. So now they want to implement all of this get your personal data stuff so that Israel can scrape more. Israel can figure out who your Discord kitten is and use that data. And this is what I mean relates to the opening discussion of that desire to believe, and that you already don't like a certain group or a certain people or certain class, whatever, so that it's not that they're not doing shitty things. It's not that they're not awful. It's just that once you're willing to believe that people you don't like did any bad thing that they're accused of, you kind of lose the plot. And that's how they convince you that, that's why Iran is burning an effigy of Baal that's shaped like a minotaur and has a Star of David on his head. And they're saying death to Israel, death to Israel. Because you just believe any bad thing about the people you don't like.
Yeah.
They're like, they are devil worshippers and they're mean. So
on that note, since I have it in my U.S. News tab, we have not declared war on Iran yet. It will happen, but not yet. Time of recording.
Yeah, well, they bombed Iran during the beginning of one of our episodes one time, and so I'm expecting fully that we'll be recording an episode, and then it's, we went to war. Great. But
it's going to happen right now.
Did y'all hear? The Twin Towers were time traveled to now, and then they were killed again.
God.
That sounds like some shit. That sounds like the city virus shit from The Invisibles.
Oh my God. That sounds like the worst time travel movie ever.
We gotta go back in time. We gotta take these buildings into the future.
we have to transport the buildings into the future to keep them from getting hit.
Trump says Iran regime change could be best thing as second carrier heads to Middle East. That was a couple.
That is really nice. That is really nice. They said that.
This old coot don't know what the hell he talking about. I don't want like that. That's the problem. It's like whenever this man expresses an opinion, it's just like, all right, did a billionaire tell him that, or is that like some shit that a neuron fired and it crossed the no man's land between hemispheres, and then he just dribbled tapioca pudding onto himself? It's only one or the other. Those are the only two options. It's either one of his billionaire cronies that saying, gee, Donnie, you're so great, told him that this was a good thing, or it's just fucking insanity. There's no coherent thoughts anywhere.
The only thing I will say is kind of funny about Iran, because, I mean, there's so much stuff that's going on, is they're kind of mogging us without saying it directly. They're kind of mogging the American empire and just how slow it is.
Aura farming.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they don't have nukes, so like aura farming with 0 nukes in the noggin. That's kind of dumb,
Or the most based thing that's ever happened. I'm just saying. I'm not pro them.
I mean, not really, because like you're gonna get like if Iran had nukes, we wouldn't be in this situation. We would be leaving them the fuck alone.
Right.
True.
That's the continuous game I've mentioned in the last 2 episodes. It's just American imperialism fundamentally just relies on might makes right, because we're able to potentially depose Iran's government and just set up another puppet, like last time. Because we're able to do that, it's okay, and we're going to.
Yeah,
it's going to be the son of the Shah, apparently, is what I hear.
Well, yeah, and the situation, if they had nukes, we just wouldn't touch them. That's all. That's it. It's just we can bully you, so we're going to, and that's our game in a nutshell. That's all we really have.
It's almost like modus operandi. You don't have the thing, so we're gonna bully you.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is that like we were originally saying 2 months ago, oh yeah, if they kill a single protester, we're gonna be in there. And they've killed far past that point, and we still have not bombed them.
And now they're like, well, you're gonna, we're waiting on you.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
Yeah, because now we sent like who knows how many ships. Like most of the fucking fleets are in the Caribbean right now because of Venezuela. But obviously, it takes time.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah, they got to stabilize Venezuela first.
They're screaming, hey, come get us, come get us. And then, like, the bald eagle is turning with, like, a mouthful of Venezuela going, I'm not done yet.
I've still got more oil to eat.
And, like, there's this weird thing. So, obviously, okay, so we're kind of just in the Venezuela topic now. But, they kidnap Maduro. And now the government is being complicit, which I feared was going to happen, but I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't, because like they only got one guy. That doesn't mean that like the whole system was just going to flip. But yeah, now they're not sending oil to Cuba for the first time ever, and are sending oil to Israel for the first time since 2020.
Gee.
But it's this weird thing that Marco Rubio, he really wants to go after Cuba right now. He wants us to bomb them right now, to invade right now. All right. But then we're also trying to go after Iran at the same exact moment. So it's like everything's kind of like jumbled up and fucking, like we have like the USS Abraham Lincoln over there, and they're vulnerable. Like if they attack Iran right now, they would get sunk.
Yeah, in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You ever been drunk and you open a beer and you're drinking, like, and then you lose your beer, but you're so drunk that you don't care, so you just go and find another one and you open a beer, and then you find the other beer.
And I got 2 beers.
You do that 4 times, and now you have like a room that's just full of your beers, and you're plastered.
Is this an analogy?
Is this
I
an
thought we were going
appropriate
somewhere.
metaphor, you think? Or I'm just saying, like, I think that's our foreign policy right now, apparently. And America has always been exceptionally stretched thin in every direction. It's just usually if some shit was really to go down, you could actually manage something. But this is a case of like how many drone strikes happen in how many different countries every day because of the U.S. military. It's an astonishing amount. It's like you need websites and spreadsheets to keep track of this. But generally, like the big dogs, the ones that like the mainstream media tells you about, or like generally you're pared down to like maybe 1 or 2. And now we're just like, we're just everywhere. It's just beer can after beer can after beer can. It's just an amalgamation of Natty Lights and Milwaukee's Best littered across the room.
Filled with war crimes.
Yeah, just a drunk, staggering bag of war crimes and imperialism. Not quite sure what we're going to do next.
Yeah. 2 smaller things. One of them, I'm just going to read the note that I put down because I was kind of tired, so it's funny. The Super Bowl and Randy Fine is gay for Bad Bunny.
What more do we need to say?
That's pretty good. That's those are the headlines I'd want in my newspaper. That's all I'm saying.
I wish I had more to say about the entire Super Bowl thing. I think it speaks more to like media outrage, circus, and internet just click farming type behavior that the whole 2 Super Bowls thing ever got off the ground. Because then when it finally happened, it's like, oh man, the thing that everyone probably should have expected to happen, they got a 1/6 of the people that were watching the actual Super Bowl. And even like the yahoos that I work with that are blue collar Republican types are like, no, I didn't watch that shit. I had better. I don't give a damn.
I watched the Turning Point USA halftime.
Yeah, they're saying, no, I didn't watch that stuff. I went and got more buffalo chicken dip and another Milwaukee's Best while Bad Bunny was on. I don't know. The music was fine. I don't care. Like, that's it. That's
100%.
Literally most.
Well, it's Kid fucking Rock. Like that's against Bad Bunny as a headliner. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it really just comes down to like racism. It's like a racism off, basically. It's like, no, I'm gonna watch Kid Rock because he's white. Like that's all it comes down to.
100% what it is. It's that I don't want to hear someone speak in Spanish.
But it's not just that. It's the fact that this sort of environment where anyone would give a flying fuck about this only exists in the highly polarized internet algorithm outrage driven environment that we live in now.
Yeah. No, man, I was at the barber today, and the guy was talking to me about the Super Bowl and everything like that, and it was the most tamest conversation I've ever had with a human being. He was like, I saw it. It was pretty good. The Seahawks are pretty heavy this year. Yeah, I saw the. What do you think of the? What do you think of halftime? Yeah, it was pretty cool. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was all right, I guess.
And then meanwhile, the Turning Point USA, like double racism fucking brigade, whatever the hell you want to call them, are screaming with tears in their eyes about how this is the most un-American thing. And then even the average motherfucker that you come into, what'd you think of it? Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
I didn't care. Most people do not care.
No,
they just don't.
It's a money grab in some respects, because after the fact, Mr. Rock, Mr. Kid, was on some fucking panel show, some talking head bullshit, and he was like, he gave credit to Bad Bunny. And it was more or less like a hen/olive branch, but in a way that was like, so I can get more money. You know what I mean? And I can get more talking head time.
I don't believe Kid Rock believes a word he fucking says.
No, man, he don't give a shit.
He's from the rich part of Michigan.
Are you saying that like Rob Schneider is a grifter? He doesn't believe in that?
He's Rob Schneider as a musician. That's what Kid Rock is.
No, they need to have Rob Schneider be Kid Rock. That's what they should have done. That would have been something worth watching.
Rob Schneider is Kid Rock.
Thank you, Adam Sandler, for propping that man up for 10 years, by the way. So glad you did that.
I just have to comment because I've said it multiple times and people know this. I'm Puerto Rican. You're what to the what now?
In Lithuania.
Yeah.
Down to diggy.
It blows my mind how many people don't know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bananas.
I mean, illegally, it is stolen land, but...
I mean, yeah, but so's all of it.
True.
Might is right. Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, but
all right.
That's all I have to say about it is like, it's you. First off, most of them didn't know. But most of the people that I were having negative opinions about it were saying like Mexican, and I'm like, nope, try again.
Those damn Mexicans coming over from Puerto Rico.
Any comment about Randy Fine?
I'm not surprised. I'm a little attracted to Bad Bunny. I can see it.
A little.
Just the amount of people that will spin this performance. It's sort of, let's go back to the conspiracy talk. How many times has there been a halftime show where it was, no, you don't understand. This halftime show was full of secret Illuminati imagery where Katy Perry was on a tiger or something, or no, this was meant to indoctrinate. This was shooting subliminal messages at young white Christians to turn them into communists and like gay communists. That's always what this nonsense turns into. You have to turn stuff that for the most part is either spectacle or just what you would expect from a song and dance man. These are singing, dancing folk, and you have to make it into something insane.
That's such a funny sense. Like just singing, dancing folk.
If you are performing at the Super Bowl, you are a singing, dancing man. I'm sorry, that's like that is your thing. You are not. No one's coming up to Bad Bunny and going, "You are a modern day philosopher and the arbiter of truth in our nation." You are a singing, dancing man, and that's great. You are a super awesome singing, dancing man. I mean, I don't really listen to his music. I have no idea if he's good or bad. I just don't listen to it.
He's all right.
All I listen to is 40 hertz sitar ASMR.
His dance music it's just got a good beat and some fun good features and shit. Fine. Usually,
I gotta give Randy Fine the props for looking up the translation of the lyrics. At least that's more than most people would have done.
Well, he did it.
He put that
he did
shit
it with
like
one-handed. You know
Translate.
what I mean?
None of this is conjugated right.
He got an AI voice of Bad Bunny to do it in English.
What else you got, Pink?
That ended on that.
Before we get to the Pam Bondi stuff, because I suspect that's going to be kind of a huge topic in its own right. This is going to be the most sloppiest thing I'm going to bring up. The most sloppiest, topulous thing I'm going to bring up. So Hassan Piker is like getting clowned on right now all over Twitter by liberals because he refused to endorse. I'm having a brain fart. Who's the California governor?
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. He refused to endorse Gavin Newsom for president on a podcast.
He's not even running yet. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. He's getting clowned on. He's getting like mocked, called like, a traitor and like the reason that Trump won for an election that's like 2.5 years away. Nobody has announced they're running for president yet. This is where liberalism in the United States is right now. It's like you can't even like be against a hypothetical election where there's a Democrat involved.
Liberals want to shame anybody who is a leftist into voting against their own interest and never, ever, 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 ever pointing that critique in the direction of anyone that isn't a communist, Marxist, leftist, whatever. It's basically, no. Why don't you're the reason to blame for this because you didn't want to vote for the person who said that they don't care about genocide going on in another country. Or they said they don't care. I don't care. That's I don't care about hey, all you trans people, I don't care about your rights and I don't care about protecting you. But if you don't vote for me, what happens to you is your fault.
Jesus.
Hey. All of you leftists who are suffering under this system we've created, your suffering is your fault. And the suffering that your mama and your grandma and your cousin and all those trans people that you say you care about, it's all your fault if you don't vote for this person who is not going to do anything to protect them.
For the person who has actively said, yes, we will continue to aid and abet in genocide.
Yeah, that's the whole point. It's like, hey, this politician is going to do nothing to help you, but somehow if you don't vote for him, it's your fault that bad things keep happening to you. Just shut up. It's like, it's silly. It's fucking silly shit. And Hassan, like, man, if you wanted to clown on Hassan, there's a lot funnier and more insane ways to do it. Like, just post a picture of the dog where and then his hands out like Emperor Palpatine.
Just talk about jank for a minute.
That joke still has.
The dog shock thing is like actual schizophrenia if you believe that. But damn, the memes are fire.
Right?
Yeah,
funny.
Really
Yeah,
it's funny stuff.
If you want to just be a crazy person critiquing someone over insane things, go full tilt. Is my argument. Like just just go, if you want to just be mad, you didn't see, it's like, Hassan said that he wouldn't vote for Gavin Newsom if he was a worm.
Yeah, exactly. For the Democrats in this country, what 2024 should have been was the lesson that you can't go against the popular positions, even if you're going against somebody so monstrous, and also ignoring at the same time the common issues that are affecting everyday people. Like, this all comes back to Trump ran a successful presidential campaign on cost of living issues. I mean, he didn't do shit with that when he won, but every single time he was on stage at a rally or something, it was like, hey, gas prices are too damn high. How many of you can afford rent? How many of you can, like, what's going on? The eggs.
The economy was so much better under me, and then Biden got there, and it got so much worse.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's obviously bullshitting when he says that, but it's like, these are the issues that the voters care about.
That was the messaging, though.
Yeah, and the Democrats ignored that point while also being like, what you're seeing in Gaza is actually fake, and we're going to send you to a concentration camp. There is no lesson that's being learned.
I was listening to the election episode, just going back to it, trying to wrap my head around how short it has been since then, really, and just what we were feeling at the time and how much worse it is. But we said it then, and, co-host, once again, co-host is right, especially when they say things are going to happen, and it's very right, and he's always right. Co-host said it. The Democrats couldn't even promise you a pony. They couldn't even lie to you. They told you to shut up, everything's fine. Stop complaining.
And then they wonder why Kamala lost. To, again, quote Hassan, the upcoming midterms and the 2028 election for Gavin Newsom, because it seems like that's where they're absolutely trying to go.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, Democrats are in a fight against the couch. What is going to motivate somebody to get their ass up and just vote? And currently, they're basically saying, well, here's Kamala 2.0, but they're a white guy.
That was the problem. We weren't ready for a female president. That's the fucking problem.
That's what it really comes back to. Yeah.
It's too easy to bang on the Obamas because they're just monster people. But Michelle Obama literally said that, and people fucking applauded. And you just remember how truly disconnected these people are from the working class.
It doesn't matter, because the problem is, it doesn't matter how many times you say, we are not interested in voting for you.
We are Charlie Kirk.
It doesn't matter how many times it doesn't matter how many times you critique them and say, like, well, you're not offering the working class anything. You're not interested in helping with the cost of living. You're not interested in protecting people's rights. You're not interested in divesting yourself from a vastly unpopular ally who is committing atrocities. Why are we voting for you? What is our interest? Basically, when you tell them that and you say, why are we voting for you? And they just plug their ears and go, la, 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 I'm not listening.
Or they accuse you of being the problem and that you're the reason why this country is...
You're an anti-Semite and you're the reason that Trump
The Dow
won.
is 50,000.
And
my prediction is that, like, okay, so obviously Trump's in the fucking shitter, all right? He is not winning. Like, I don't know who the fuck is going to run in place of Trump, because I don't think he's actually going for the third term shit. No way he'll pull that off.
It's Vance, isn't it?
He's going to retire to a farm somewhere where he can just run around and chase the cows.
They're going to do what they did to his dad. He's going to still think he's the president.
He's going to be in the villages. No, like a retirement home that's like the villages, but it's the White House. It just looks like the White House.
They literally did that to his dad.
They're going to build an Oval Office for him. They're just going to keep putting executive orders in front of him for him to sign all day.
He's going to be like 92 years old.
It's perfect. He keeps shitting his pants. He keeps stamping stuff and saying racist, weird things.
And he's going to outlive all of us. And he's going to outlive everyone in this conversation right now.
He's going to, like, still have access to Truth Social, but they're going to cut his account off from the rest of the world.
It's just him on there.
And every reply that he thinks he sees, it's a bot.
He's just going to think it's 2027 for the rest of his life.
So doable. So easy, actually.
You say that. That's what all of us are going to have in a little bit.
Yeah, for real.
My prediction is that, like, obviously, I would hope it's not Gavin Newsom, but Gavin Newsom wins 2028. And unsurprisingly, he doesn't do shit that actually alleviates any of the problems. And it just allows the Republicans to rebuild up for 4 years, rebuild up all of the political momentum that they had lost. And then they win 2032 or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Smarter, sleeker, more racist.
Yeah, pretty much. And more as pro-Israel as possible.
The Democrats will take power again. They will add what's the word? I'm not caught. They won't codify it, but what's the word? They won't actually renege on any of the bad things that have been going on. The network of fucking tent prisons that'll be established by ICE, and the way that the shit kicking and the mass surveillance, all of that will be fine. All of that will stay exactly the same. So that way, when the Republicans step up with a more competent fascist, the stage will be set for them.
Yeah, this is a primer.
It'll be Gavin Newsom going, I kept it warm for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that is why in 2028 we have to vote for JD Vance.
This podcast is brought to you by the PAC for JD Vance.
Yeah. As accelerationist and stupid as it is, there is actually some truth to that. Like if JD Vance wins 2028, they're like not going to do anything. It's going to get even worse for them. Like they're going to run into the office with 27% approval rating, and it'll only continue to sink.
We'll just be talking about couch fucker forever.
That's my protest vote. Don't vote third party, vote Republican.
It'll be rock bottom and they'll keep digging. JD Vance just sitting in the White House and it's completely on fire, and he's like, this is fine. This is fine. It'll just be JD Vance staring at a wall, just confused. Like, how did I get here?
Oh my God. The Oval Office gets redesigned for JD Vance, and it's nothing but couches. Like instead of chairs, like regular chairs.
Just couches.
Oh, Lord.
God. Okay. All right. What else we got then? Do we going to go to Pam Bondi?
Well, I've been given the last few. Does anyone else have anything silly to bring up for a news topic that I didn't?
I got fluff headlines ready because I thought we were going to go to really dark places, and we have, but we've been laughing about it the whole time. So maybe just
let's just go to the Pam Bondi.
Let's just crack into Bondi.
Okay. Well, what is there to really say about Pam Bondi other than that she's suicidal and stupid?
Hey,
that those, the Dow is over 50,000 memes are just chef's kiss. Just any situation.
Yeah, I am so fucking glad. I am so glad that like people are like memeing about that. Because for fucking years now, it's like every single time that anyone's making any complaints about Republican governments, it's always coming back to like people are being like, well, look at the stock market. The stock market doesn't mean shit. The stock market is doing good until it's not.
I can't pay my bills with the stock market. You might be able to, but I cannot.
I remember seeing something where someone was talking about like when you understand that the American economy is being propped up by massive amounts of AI investment and then online gambling, things make a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a crazy fucking circle jerk of like billions of dollars getting exchanged.
Like pretty much the entire stock market is just like infinite money glitches when you get enough companies together, and they're basically just trading their own money to each other, and that's stimulating the stock market.
Yeah, 100%. It's just passing the buck back and forth and making it look like something's happened. The economic equivalent of those desk jobs you have where all you do is shuffle around paperwork so other people can do things, except if your job was shuffling around paperwork for nothing to get done.
It's the equivalent of writing a check and passing it around to, it's like, I owe you $20, so here's a check for $20, and then, oh no, but you owe me $20. And then everybody just keeps exchanging the same check, and there's no actual money moving anywhere.
I will say on some sort of macroeconomic scale, though, if we are talking about the runoff of that, when you do transfer things, there are marginal differences that happen, they're like waves, right?
Oh no, and there's an actual what you would call an economy. It's not like, I'm not saying that like, oh man, money's all a lie. It's just numbers moving through a computer. But I'm just
the 1% on Wall Street.
The one piece.
The thing I'll say, going back to Bondi, is that it's funny to me because it really is this case of just always coming back to this problem of once you get in this position, like when Republicans take power, particularly when the Trump administration takes power, they put people that have no business being in these positions and throwing them up there. And then everyone acts surprised when they have a meltdown and act like a crazy person and say something laughably stupid where it's like, yeah, what did you expect was going to happen? It's just this weird moment.
You gave a monkey a gun.
Everyone was pretending everybody was pretending they saw the emperor's clothes. And then it's like, oh, no, we need to do something about Bondi. It's like, you needed to do something about Bondi before she walked in the fucking room, dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone in this administration is like that. It's like, oh, you mean the white supremacist judge?
Vince McMahon's wife. Right, yeah.
It's like, come on, man. It's not even about accountability at this point.
Well, on accountability, like, if this was a real fucking country anymore, like, even 10 years ago, this would have happened. Like, her activity at that hearing, she would have been like held in contempt of Congress.
Right, 100%.
She would have been tackled on the fucking ground.
We're just not a real country anymore. So like she can literally be like, you're a failed politician, and that doesn't get her arrested immediately.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
10 years ago, something that was half as embarrassing as that would have ended in an almost immediate resignation.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like things are really like the fallout of it is actually hurting. So it's not like we're standing here and being like, oh yeah, nothing's happening.
Oh yeah. It's not like nothing's gonna happen. But I'm saying it would have been the same afternoon. It's like she would have walked out and it would have been a call up saying, hey, I expect put your letter of resignation on my desk and I'm going to sign it.
Well, you all say that, but I mean, we were talking about Kristi Noem getting tossed under the bus for the fucking ICE fiasco. A little bit.
And now she just
that could still happen,
and now everyone's real quiet on that.
No, I mean that could still happen. You don't know.
I think the threat alone is enough to keep them subordinate, so that it at least gets to the end goal of the next day. You know what I mean?
It's like a mixture of the boiling frog effect and the rats scattering on the ship.
It's
like
crazy.
That's what it is. It's like, so that sounds fucking wild to say, but frog boiling. But the only difference is that like they know they're boiling, but they also can't jump because rats scattering. It's like you don't want to be the first rat to scatter because
it's who's taking their hand off the stove first.
So they got to jump. They're waiting. I think they're waiting to jump at the right time. Basically, everyone stays together and then they jump at once.
Everyone jumps to Venezuela and they just set up shop there.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Do you guys think that Bondi was instructed to just throw herself like a human fucking meat shield in front of every question?
Bondi, honey, I need you to take this for me.
That's what I'm legitimately wondering. Because, like, I mean, Kennedy, I'm surprised you're actually bringing this up because it's like you were denying it the other day. But it's like, I don't know. It's like her ego is either too high because like she was just it's like she jumped in front of every bullet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she was get her on the Secret Service because she was like leaping into the bullets every time.
Well, you know what it was, Pink, is I watched it after, because that was before I had watched anything. You were just mentioned it, and I was like, I mean, I don't know. She's kind of a fucking moron, and I don't really think she can be, she's worried about consequences.
Yeah, no.
But oh my God, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, she literally said at one point when they were not even accusing Trump, they were just half mentioning that like Trump was, like, it wasn't a question about Trump that she had to answer or anything like that. It was, they half mentioned Trump's involvement in the Epstein cover-up because that's how they were covering it, was a cover-up. That's how they were covering it, as a cover-up. Man, I'm fucking wordsmith over here.
Covering the cover-up that's getting covered.
Don't worry about that. Worry about all the you knows you said.
Dick.
Oh.
I'm going to leave all yours in this episode now. Oh.
All right.
Now I'm the fool.
All right. They're talking about Trump being like an accomplice here, and it's not even something she has to answer, all right? They just mention that. And she's like, well, actually, this whole thing has been organized by me. I can tell you that the president has had no involvement in the association of the release of the files, no acknowledgement. I've basically been working behind his back. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Are you just admitting to fucking this? What is wrong with you? Yeah, and she looked visibly disheveled for most of this. She looked like she was not having a good time.
Yeah, she was scared as shit.
That is what makes me wonder if it was she got the phone call and said, Bondi, you're going to have to take a dive for this. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
perhaps that's all it is. It's just like,
sorry, hon.
Yeah,
We've known each
I
other
don't
a long
know.
time.
if you fall on your sword for me right now, I'll make sure that you don't go to prison.
Who poisoned the stew? I did all of it. Yeah, nobody else was involved, just me.
Well, I mean, it's the Oliver North thing, isn't it? I mean, much dumber version of it, but yeah.
Ollie North. Ollie North.
People will accept it too, which is the disheartening fact. Everyone will have this subtext in their mind that this person's taking the fall, and it's simpler for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
I will say, though, we got to give the liberals on the panel some shit.
Oh, they were fucking...
Holy hell. I came in, and admittedly, it was a really funny thing, but, like, I came in, and, like, the first thing I heard was, Donald Trump is mentioned in these files more than Harry Potter is mentioned in all of the Harry Potter books combined. Is that really the angle we're hitting at this from?
Please read another book.
But,
please.
But it's like, Jesus, this is such a serious hearing, and this is almost like making a mockery of
I thought
it.
Lin-Manuel Miranda was going to show
But
up and say
I
some
will
shit.
say, what happened afterwards was just as glorious. I don't know how much you guys saw, but so he brings up the Bible, and he's like, Trump is mentioned in these files more than God is mentioned in the whole of the Bible. And that's his book. He made like a half joke, and I was like, oh, and by the way, this is a Trump Bible. Suck it, King James. And then Pam Bondi goes, how dare you insult the Bible?
How dare you insult my dad? I'm going to kick your butt. You talk bad about daddy. That's fucked up.
It was funnier than I'm
hilarious.
probably making it sound. But another one was was her saying that she hopes Ghislaine Maxwell dies in prison. That's gonna look really bad when she gets pardoned.
Yeah, it's gonna look really fucking bad.
Or she.
It's gonna look really bad when Pam is in prison and then Ghislaine is out, and she's like, "Yeah, I left you some cigarettes."
No, it's going to look really bad when those two are hosting their Fox News program together.
Yep.
Oh, God.
In about 8 years. Give it 8 years.
Pam Bondi's going to be the one that takes care of the dog.
Man, doesn't it suck when co-host is right because co-host says things are going to happen and they're right about it?
God damn it, co-host. No, I think the one takeaway that I think we can have from that whole hearing, if there's anything positive, it's that Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna are like the only people I'd ever vote for president at this point. I joked about Chris Christie. I'd vote Chris Christie for president, but if we're being serious, the other Republican, not Ro Khanna, the other Republican would be the guy I'm voting for. He'd be the only Republican I'd vote for.
I can't in good conscience vote for him, but I understand the appeal of it given that situation, because it's what it is. It's the Bukowski thing. It's not that they're so great, but everyone else is so bad. They just, we've been looking at this absolute fucking circus of a political scene for so long now. I mean, name one politician that isn't just a walking fucking punchline at this point, It's really bad. Like, even, I know there's a lot of people that still have lots of sentimental feelings towards Bernie Sanders at this point, but even Bernie is just like this disgusting fucking backwater treading monster at this point. It's really fucking sad.
It's just the state we're all in is the problem, is that our system, not just in the way that it operates, but in the way that we talk about it, in the way that we have contextualized everything, in the way that it's all a circus. It is all loud and bright and fast and 24 hours a day. It has destroyed our ability to hold anything as meaningful, anything as sacred, anything as important. So everyone who appears on our screens can only really show up as a clown. That's all they've got anymore. We're just choosing what clown is maybe the most funny or the least funny, depending on your perspective. But Mr. Congressman, I am Pagliacci. A man broke into a Little Caesars and started selling the pizzas himself.
Is that true?
It's a headline that exists.
That's a real fucking entrepreneur right there. He said, I don't got the money, but I'd have the time and the dedication.
I'd vote for him. Yeah, that's my vote. Pizza Bandit 2028. No one wants to work anymore? Think again, buddy.
If anyone tries to say the economy is bad, ICE is always hiring. All right, the job market has never been better.
Oh, I had this. I think we were talking like a couple days ago or yesterday or something. I had this great idea for a pump and dump scheme. We all just create aliases and apply to ICE so that we get our tax dollars back through the the $5,000 incentive.
Sign-on bonus.
Yeah, we don't have to pay it back because we're literally going to just steal it.
I mean, we know for a fact they're not checking anything. You could show up with like a Groucho Marx glasses and mustache and say like, I would like one job, please.
Give me a job.
Well, did you see the reporter that actually almost got in?
Yeah.
Like they went all the way through the hiring process and it literally just came down to, I don't want to get disappeared, so I'm not going to click acknowledge on the final document.
Oh, but wow. She had it, like, right? Like she was all the way through.
Yeah. But it was like, it came down to like, all right, quick acknowledge and you're hired. Welcome to ICE. Show up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. It was like, I don't want to get disappeared, so I'm not going to.
It goes to a page. It's just a discord.gg link.
Oh my God. Now that's why they want the IDs.
So they can.
It's all coming together.
This is why we need people like Hunter S. Thompson still, because Thompson would have gone in.
He would have fucked up every bit that he could. He would have worked there for like 3 months, and then he just walked out and been like, "Yeah, I'm done." And he would have written a book about
That sounds
it.
amazing, actually.
And when they came back to him like, "Why'd you quit?" He'd be shooting. He'd start shooting at him. You can't make me go back to work.
This is America, goddammit.
It's going to be like Samuel or whatever his name was, I'm forgetting, from The Last of Us. Fedra just fucking throwing the grenade in the truck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
We want to get into some global headlines then?
This is Pink's global news segment, talking about some shit that I saw beyond the borders of American empire that I think would be fun to talk about for a moment. Myanmar, Burma, however you want to call it, they've been in a civil war since 2021 when the military like overthrew a democracy, and they're failing really hard at like being a junta. Like there's basically nothing that's working for them. And I just saw this last night. The AIF, the Anti-Fascist Imperialist Front, is a militant leftist group that's primarily in the Chin State, the Magway region. They're anarcho-communists. I just saw that last night. One of their divisions, it's an all-women's division called The Witch, was trending because they published a video of them like sending a drone in kamikaze style into a bunch of like junta soldiers. So that's pretty based. Nothing really to say more on that.
So you're saying that the all-female witch unit did a kamikaze drone strike on their enemies?
Yeah, pretty much.
God, that's fucking based.
Yeah, that's
fucking wonderful.
Did Kojima write this?
Well, I don't know if they're witches. I think they're just calling themselves that. They just call themselves witch.
No, just the name alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say on a riot jacket. That sounds fucking punk.
Yeah, Japan, the Liberal Democratic Party, the LDP. They are the far right party that current Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi is the head of. They just won the majority of parliament in a snap election. And Japan is in a really shitty place once again, politically. It just keeps happening.
On a massive anti-immigration campaign.
Yep.
The one thing you want to do when your birth rates are declining massively is to keep anybody else from coming into the country.
I mean, I don't even know if it's necessarily about that. They're just like we're the xenophobes. Pretty much. That's like their entire running point.
Like, don't you remember our culture, damn it?
Funny.
We hate people.
Yeah, Sanai Takaichi is Japan's first female prime minister. And of all female prime ministers to model themselves after, they had to fucking get Margaret Thatcher.
I mean, who else would you pick?
She's an Iron Lady, which is basically a Gundam. So that's where the connection is.
She's kind of crazy too. I don't know if you know this, but like a couple months ago, so Japan and China are they're having a little bit of a trade war with each other because she just randomly blurted out, well, not randomly blurted out, but she like was in a speech about how if China encircled Taiwan, it would be she would personally consider it to be an activation of the National Defense Clause of the JDF, or not JSDF, Japanese Self-Defense Forces,
right?
And that they would intervene against China. Okay.
Yeah, like, okay, sure. Why the hell not?
That's a fucking crazy thing to just drop, especially because the U.S. is trying to be a little more buddy-buddy with China, of all people, surprisingly.
We know when we're being.
Yeah, I gotta say, it is kind of funny how, like, there's an immense parallel between the far right in both Japan and Argentina, and how it's just kind of like a constant cycle of, it's so over, we're so back, it's so over. Because, like, 2 years ago, the fucking LDP was in the fucking shitter.
Right? After Shinzo basically shit the...
Yeah, after Shinzo Abe got fucking murked by the thingamabob, all right? Yeah. And now they're in parliament majority.
But often that'll be the thing that sparks stuff like this. Yeah, you took a hit. You took a big L, but it was essentially martyrdom. It was a tragedy, and that can create that momentum that leads to, okay, yeah, it's a couple years down the line, and we're going for it now.
Same thing with, like, Argentina, though. It's like the people of Argentina tried to fucking kill Milei. They tried to pull him out of his fucking limo, and we're going to tear him apart in the crowd. All right. And then they fucking win big at the election. Like, what the fuck? It's like, it goes from like, oh, they're done to we're right back at it.
It's a roach thing. They just add one thing after the time.
Oh, just because I gotta say it, I'm pretty. Takeichi's also associated with the Moonies, right? I think like everyone that's in, I'm pretty sure everyone that's like up in the ranks of the fucking liberal Democrats over there are tied to the Moonies in some way. Which is, hey, if you guys don't remember the Moonies, go look at the cult episode. They're a cult.
All right, so United Kingdom. Keir Starmer's political career is imploding.
Good.
Really nothing to say about that. Exactly as we all expected. And it's just really more surprising that a Labor MP could fucking like bomb this hard. Like, everyone thought he was going to be more competent than a Tory at least, but apparently no.
No, he's the same shit, different asshole. I mean, the Labour Party in the UK has, again, much like the Democratic Party in the States, has just given up any shred of real concern about the working class and bullied themselves into a corner of, like, what are we going to do? Kowtow to the United States, except in the most paltry of resistance, and it's been that way since Corbyn, really. Maybe that's an oversimplification of it, but that's the way I see it, at least.
Yeah.
They decided that, like, no, we're not going to lean into progressivism in any kind of way. So what else do we have other than, much like I described Canada, we're just going to become a vassal state. It's fine.
North Korea, Kim Jong-un named his daughter as possible next successor. And Russia and China are claiming they're going to help Cuba, since Cuba is like getting starved out right now. Now they're not even getting like Venezuelan oil. Personally, I doubt that they can actually do anything meaningful.
No, it's performative.
Yeah, pretty much.
What if they just sent over some cars? Like, I said that a couple episodes back. It's like, that'd be, politics and everything else aside. It's like, how about some cars that's year starts with a 2? That'd be pretty dope.
Well, they don't have any oil now, so what's the point?
Oh, damn it. You're right.
I really do think that, like, Russia has kind of dropped the ball hard for all of its allies. Because, like, they're so tied up. Think about all the shit that's, like, happened since the war in Ukraine started. Maduro got fucking kidnapped. Cuba's at risk. Iran has actually been bombed, but now it's, like, getting at threat again. The Assad government in Syria fell. I guarantee none of this shit would be happening if Ukraine wasn't a thing. Ukraine hadn't popped off. Because Russia is a powerful country, but their arms are just too restricted, This Ukraine is like, if there's one thing that the West has been successful at with Ukraine, it's been just draining the resources of Russia until they can't really like reach out to even their allies.
Co-host, you were discussing the sort of scattershot, beer cans everywhere approach of American foreign policy at the moment, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the opportunism of knowing that we have to get as much on the ground as possible while Russia is still tied up. I don't know.
And this will just cap off my little news segment. Winter Olympics. Y'all got any thoughts on it?
Really cool thing about schlongs.
Huh?
The new thing about the getting more air with more package. That's pretty sick. I think I'm going to start doing that.
Brookhouse shared an image about the new inflatable penis scandal for long jumpers.
New to the public, anyway. Probably it's probably been going on for years.
I will admit I have not heard anything about this, so that is news to me.
I will give everyone the short version. Supposedly, the idea is you will use some sort of inflatable enhancement to your unit while you are being fitted for your suit. And the idea is that you will use your now normal-sized unit when you wear the suit, and the excess material left behind will help create a sail-like effect as you are traveling through the air to propel you for longer.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard, and I love it.
I wish Mythbusters was still around because I gotta know if that shit really works.
I think it does.
I cannot tell you the physics on that.
Well, no, it's not even just it's the amount of material of cloth. So it's the same idea as like having a parachute pant or like a squirrel pant, but just small.
Now, my question is that not even does it work, but do the athletes involved think it works?
Or are they just doing stuff to their wangs and their like
no, more of like
a good question though. Is that like, because a lot of these athletes, especially depending on what country they're from, they have to be like really religious. So it's like, if this is like life or death for you, you're gonna do anything, no matter how esoteric or silly.
We also talked about the prevalence of superstition in just American athletes. It has to be comparable all across the world.
Who was the guy on the Heat and for the NBA that would like before games he was like doing sage. He was doing sage
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was.
I don't remember his name either. So we have that, and then also it makes me think of this. Do you guys remember the chess player who had the
Jason Williams?
No,
is that an actual chess player? I don't even know if that's a chess player.
No, I think he found the Heat athlete.
Oh,
the basketball player, right? That's who did it.
Yes, that's who did it.
I was gonna say the chess player that had the vibrating anal beads or whatever it was.
Oh, right.
Supposedly there was my problem is it's just this idea that there isn't a silly enough way to cheat that someone isn't going to try it. And I'm imagining somebody with the bicycle pump and their inflatable penis going right before the suit fitting, and then they're about to go on, and they just
for my country.
Just.
I believe the material they were injecting with was a not like a saline solution necessarily, but it was a type of acid that did some sort of enlargement or like some sort of like.
Wait! You're saying that somebody is actually inflating their penis? I thought they had like a sleeve or something over it.
No, they get checked. They gotta do like things to their members.
Oh my god, that's horrifying. Oh no!
Like that's how strict the rules are though, and
that's why they go to these lengths.
Yeah, they're getting their foreskins removed because it's providing turbulence
and not aerodynamic.
Yeah, it's not aerodynamic.
Well, now I know I can never be an Olympic athlete.
Kyrie Irving did it when he was on the Nets.
Yeah. All right.
Enlarged his penis? Why would you say that?
It's actually a procedure that's required to be on the San Antonio Spurs.
Fine.
I had a few notes myself with the Olympics. Quick, I'll just run through this because we're been on a little longer than I wanted to. Italian dock workers are holding a general strike nationwide. It's not necessarily in retaliation for the Olympics. It's more of an Israel thing, but it's fucking with the Olympics pretty bad. So I don't know if we'll see like any physical change in the performance or how things are organized before it ends. Beginning of the second week.
When does it end?
I think we're exactly on the beginning of 2 weeks today because it started last Friday. So I think it goes till next Friday.
Gotcha.
So it's messing with it pretty bad. I don't know if we'll see any change though, practically. Like people aren't getting where they're supposed to.
There were also the violent protests clashing in Milan.
Yeah, I was actually about to talk about that. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in Milan. I don't know. I would love it if we just see like randomly they just stop the games one day for just like even an hour. It'd be like that means it's working.
Yeah, I mean, I support the dock workers strike and I support all the protesters because this is, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. If they're going to fucking put on these goddamn games at this point, we're going to get a message.
Yeah, Israel was allowed in, but like a bunch of other athletes that like had a personal vendetta. I think there was a Ukrainian one. It was like Ukrainian athletes which had been killed by Russia, and like they were wearing that on their helmet, and they were exiled from the event.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But then Israel is allowed in just fine. That's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's totally cool.
Did you guys have you watched anything specific for the Olympics yet, or is it just kind of a whatever for you?
I watched the curling.
My mother also likes the curling, so I watched that with her for a minute, and I told her we would find somewhere she's like, I want to learn curling, and I'm like, you know what, Ma, we'll find somewhere we can both learn to curl together. It'll be great.
Oh, a couple that curls together.
That is the extent of my Olympic bullshit. It's like, no, my mama likes it, so I'll find something
fun.
nice for her.
I also have to bring up the curling because it relates back to the overall anti-ice message we have here, because did you hear about oldest U.S. Winter Olympic winner, 54-year-old lawyer from Minnesota who called out ice?
Pink's dad did that? That's crazy.
You mean he's still alive?
Oh, now it's sad.
Now it all makes sense. He ran away to become an Olympic athlete.
Not a lawyer, just the
not
Olympic
to go get
athlete.
cigarettes.
He went to go get bagged milk and just never came back.
I think it's weird to say it like this, I suppose, but it reminds me, there have been plenty of times of people participating in the Olympics in turbulent times in their own countries or in society winning. And I mean, maybe it's not as glorious as holding your hand up in protest, but there's something to be said of a 54-year-old personal injury lawyer becoming the oldest Olympic U.S. winter athlete.
Yeah.
At such a, I'm sure he did it for Minnesota. I'm sure he was thinking of his people while he was there.
He said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, the Minnetonka.
The Minnetonka.
I watched the ice skating. That was pretty cool. It won gold over the U.S. athletes by 1 fucking point.
Oh, that's awesome.
See? France absolutely showed America its place on the world stage, absolutely demolishing the empire. France, famously anti-imperialist. Don't ask about Algeria.
No, but it's important to remember that France's victory is actually a little better because they do get a -3 point handicap just by virtue of being French in all events. So they really would have won by 4 points.
Oh, God. Do you guys know who's in the lead for medal count right now in the Olympics?
Norway.
Yes, Norway. Good answer.
Because it's the Winter Olympics.
I mean, yeah, it is sort of their sport, isn't it? But they're actually tied with Italy.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that one because it's not icy.
I like to say it's probably that Italy has home turf advantage.
That makes sense.
I definitely think there's something to that. Everyone else is in a foreign nation feeling a little off, and Italy is...
And meanwhile, you've got your carbonara and your ciabatta and
your pack of smokes.
Fiat and your... what's an Italian cigarette?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't think we can say that word.
Thank God we don't have any Italian listeners.
You mean No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
Genius. Oh.
Well, now I know that every time I hear a bleep in an episode, it's not always just added in as a joke.
No, this is the first time he's done it.
Yeah, no, this is a new thing.
He figured it out.
No, it's an old thing, but it's a new thing I'm doing today.
Yeah, no, France, though, famously anti-imperialist. Don't ask about Algeria. Din din foo, more like din 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 happen.
God damn. That's really good.
Okay. I was wondering, it's why is he bringing? It's I get Algeria bad, but I didn't realize you were getting yeah, okay. You got me. Great joke.
I had that banger in the chamber for like all of last night. And I was like, God damn it, they're talking over me.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Pig.
Fuck. I almost got it. I almost got out.
So, rounding out the show with the culture piece. Have you guys heard of this Jeffrey Epstein guy?
Unfortunately.
Well, hold on. Let's be nice about this. Let's talk about the nice things first. The nice cultural bits. Something that isn't
okay, yeah. Other
horrible.
Bits.
Yeah. You guys have anything?
No, I don't think we have it. Well, I do have one fun thing we could talk about because this was something new that I learned. And anyone listening that isn't prepared for possibly graphic and depressing Jeffrey Epstein talk, this is something that you can listen to and enjoy, and then skip right to the end of the episode. Are you guys aware in Tamil Nadu
He is
and
stunned. He can't
Andhra
talk.
Pradesh? Well, it's the
No. That was the CMN trademark of figuring out how exactly you wanted to butcher a name.
It's like, I know I'm going to mispronounce it. Just how am I going to mispronounce it this time? There's a practice among Indian Singaporeans, that's apparently the origin of it, called parrot or parakeet astrology or fortune telling.
What?
I was just made aware of this the other day.
So wait, there's parakeets that are doing astrology?
Yes, and fortune telling.
How much
Parakeet
money?
just pulls out your fucking scroll and looks at your chart and just goes, cacaw.
Legitimately.
No, they don't go caca. They go.
I want fucking Abu to fucking tell me something. That sounds dope. Or Raw. What's his name? What's the one from Aladdin?
Iago.
Iago.
I can't believe it. We're never going to get this stupid chart.
Oh, my Lord. We miss you, Gilbert Godfrey. Anyway, but yeah, so this is a real practice that happens in India. It's pretty much it's your typical fortune teller sort of thing. They're like they're sit by the side of the road or, whatever, and you can pay these people and they will release their little bird and they'll pick a card for you.
It's pretty cool. How much money do you think?
Probably not a lot, just like a little bit.
300.
300 somethings.
About 350.
Yeah.
That is the official currency of the Indian Singaporean people is somethings. But
what actually is the currency in India? I don't fucking know. Is that like...
I don't know off the top of my head.
If you hadn't asked me, I'd know. Hold on.
Isn't it rupee?
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, it is a
no,
rupee.
it might be
Yeah,
rupees.
the Indian rupee.
Damn it. Yeah.
God, you
right.
want to know something? That's kind of funny because for the longest time, I thought rupees were just like a made up thing.
From Zelda, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the shekels effect where it's like for years I heard shekels and I just thought it was like anti-Semitic dog whistle for like money, like Jewish people with money.
Right.
And that is how it's used a lot, but no, it's shekels is like is an actual currency.
Right, yeah, it's not made up entirely. It is used anti-Semitically, but it's an actual thing. They didn't make up a racist word for money.
Yeah.
They instead made up racist words for money.
Is simoleon also a word?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it's an actual currency. I thought that was like bucks, like it's just a word, or smackaronis.
Dollary dues.
Dollary dues, yeah, I like that one a lot too.
What the fuck is a euro?
It's this like really good
one of
pita
those things
bread
that has
thing.
lamb in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got tzatziki with it. It's really nice.
Man, those things are super cheap. Like what's a euro? It's like, $1.50.
I think, isn't it higher though?
This bit is going nowhere. Anyway, so parakeet astrology, they typically have decks that are 27 cards representing various Indian cosmic systems. It's not as a static, stationary sort of thing. It's a little more out there. Oftentimes they'll have religious figures such as the Buddha or the Virgin Mary, and it's pretty much what you do. You pay them, they open up the card, the bird comes out and gives you a card. And then, they'll like tell you what it means. I just thought that was really cool. I had never heard of this and I was really, really into it. It is actually, unfortunately, diminishing because there's just not as many people willing to pay for it, and there's not as many people accordingly doing it. So I don't know if it's cultural appropriation to get in on this, but maybe we should just get in on the getting birds to tell you fortune racket, because I like the sound of that. Co-host keeps making the criticism of people on like Etsy being like, oh yeah, you know, pay your $20 and I'll slap a chat bot to give you a reading on your tarot or astrology or something.
I imagine like with the parakeets thing, like I said this last night, but like, you know, if somebody's trying to rig it, I'm just imagining like they're throwing out like tarot cards, but they're just like packed with seeds inside or some shit like that. Like they're gonna be like, oh, it picked death 3 times.
And then you sell them on the good luck charm or the exorcism, whatever, to get the bugaboo off of you. Listen, I'm telling you, the bird's never wrong. The bird is never wrong. You need the cleansing. All right, hold still.
Yeah,
this will only cost you 50 simoleons.
They're like, hold on, let the parakeet speak to you, and it just goes.
Oh, and then they just shake their head knowingly at you, like, "Oh no, that's
I
a terrible
can't remember
sign."
the name of. I can't remember the name of the app, but it's sort of an auction house type app. It's very popular with the Pokemon scalper or trading card game scalper type people, where they do the live unwrapping for the booster packs.
Oh yeah.
Between that and perhaps TikTok or any of those services where you can live stream for people, or hell, even Twitch or something like that, or Cameo. That's it. What you need is you need the parakeet fortune telling cameos, where it's you give somebody 50 Beckos, and then you get a video of the parakeet picking out the card.
I just want to see the one where they like the parakeet picks something, throws it around like tries to like peck at it like food, and then shits on the card.
Just rips it off right in front of
you.
you.
Some of these birds are quite temperamental, so I wouldn't be surprised by that.
It's like the tower, and then they just like scream at you.
Yeah, well, that's typically what I do when I get the tower in a reading.
8 hours later,
before shooting, me and Kennedy talked about is that it is currently Friday the 13th. The day before Valentine's Day. So, yeah, shout out to all of the couples keeping it together until they get murdered. On that note, Kennedy, you got a Valentine's Day gift from your apartment building. How lovely.
I know. It almost makes up for the massive injustice of renting. We're going to raise your rent by like $100 at least when you try to renew. But you can
get a card.
No, I didn't just get a card. I got a little baggie of candy.
Hell yeah. You got some M&Ms,
I had
dude?
a Starburst and some M&Ms.
The card said rent's going up.
You know, Mao Zedong would have felt very differently about landlords if he only could have seen this.
Yeah, but again, the pride would be enormous.
Yeah, what did you get exactly? Like, what is it? Like just a bunch of candy and that's it?
Yeah, it was like a door hanger thing that said "Happy Valentine's Day" from us. They couldn't even personalize it and put the apartment complex on there, so that's great. And then it was like a little bag with M&Ms and a Dum Dum and some Sour Patch Kids.
I'm a bit of a high romantic when it comes to Valentine's Day. Like I understand it's a Hallmark holiday. It's some bullshit that's got so, but I like it as an exercise in getting to have an intimate moment with the person that you love and showing that you mean something to them, that sort of thing. So, but it's very weird to me when it's like Happy Valentine's
and then you fuck
Day and they just throw something. It's like just for everybody. It's like, hey, you know what? I got you a Tootsie Roll as well. And it's like, I'm only having sex with one of you guys.
Well, that makes sense because my apartment complex just fucks me all the time. So at least I got some
a bag of Smarties and also perhaps a little kiss.
Why are they French?
No, that's just me. I'm just gonna be that way for Valentine's Day. You know, it is the romance language
of
after
love,
all.
Pink. It's the language of love.
Language of love.
Something I would never know.
Oh, wait, that is not true.
I'm forever alone. I'm going to become an incel.
Stop, my beautiful being.
I don't think you can become an incel. I think you just have to. You have to stay an incel, don't you?
Yeah, I was actually making a joke. I talked about this with a coworker. Well, no, I was like, they were asking me. They called me like a Grinch or whatever as a joke. And I was like, I thought about that. I was like, well, what actually would be the equivalent of a Grinch for Valentine's Day? And then, like, in the same moment, we both went incels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever, this is bullshit anyway. You're all fucking stupid. I got other things to do.
Yeah, women won't date me, so I'm not going to address any of those issues that might be the reason why. I'm just going to hate women.
Yeah.
That'll solve
It's actually their fault. You know that?
I have to stop this Valentine's Day from coming.
I watched Taxi Driver, all right, and Travis Bickle did nothing wrong bringing Betsy to a porn theater, all right?
Yeah,
she's just a prude.
Up. I just don't understand. Women just don't have real interest.
Yeah, I'm going to shave my head into a mohawk now.
That's a really good cut.
Just remember the reason for the season, y'all. A Christian named Valentinus got murdered.
And didn't he like take all the snakes out of Ireland or something?
No.
What?
All right.
No, he did not.
I think you're thinking of something St. Patrick's did.
Oh,
St. Patrick
you were
did.
Yes,
correct.
that is St. Patrick.
Yeah.
How many saints do you know, G? You're not Catholic. I don't actually blame you for this.
Well, those ones we just said.
The saints that go marching, the ones that go marching in.
The that's about it, really.
Saint elsewhere.
Little St. James.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, and actually that's the perfect key in. We were talking about Friday the 13th, and I think our Valentine's Day killer of the season is Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, he is. All right, folks, buckle up because here's what we got: the culture piece for real of this episode.
I love how we danced around it for so long.
We had
You're
to.
like almost
it
like
wasn't
you
a
don't.
dance.
Do
we crossed that line like
really
3
wanna
different
talk
times.
about this? Yeah.
Yeah, I kept trying to like move the conversation forward, and then every time I'd open my mouth, somebody would have something more to say. I don't know if you can hear it in the recording, but there's like 10 different moments during the PlayStation talk where I was like, and moving on from that.
Sorry, I did ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about Robert Downey Jr. I get it. It's fine.
Dude, I just it's crazy.
I was willing to play ball. You guys kept bringing stuff up. It's like, all right. We'll get to it. We all know it's in the files. Everybody listening knows what's in them.
Can we just agree, like, before we get into Epstein proper, that, like, regarding Trump, because Trump honestly is borderline just a side character at this point, but regarding Trump's, like, the new drop with Trump involved, can we at least agree that no matter what you think about the guy before or after any of this, that his name being mentioned over 1 million times is fucking nuts?
Oh, it's absolutely insane.
I mean, I know he did this for decades, but like even still, how does he have the free time to do so much pedophilia? Like, are there any unraped kids?
I don't know at this point. It's just it's how does it get to this point? How do we get to the point where the sitting 2-time president is the most prolific of sexual predators?
I don't know.
And I think one of the bigger things about this is it's not just illustrating that the amount of people that are involved and the levels of power of people that are involved. Because it's weird because Epstein and Trump at this point didn't even care for each other. Like, they talked shit about each other. They had a big falling out over everything. Like, you know, I've heard the accusations of it, everything from real estate to poaching young talent.
Yeah, he was poaching girls from Palm Beach, and Trump, according to Trump, that was the only reason he had any beef with Epstein. No other reason.
Is absolutely absurd and insane. And then, but the amount of not just the people that were outright involved, but the amount of connections of people who knew that this shit was going on and decided it wasn't a deal breaker. Just didn't care. It didn't matter. It wasn't worth causing a problem over. And that's the thing that I think really gets drowned. Because yes, there's a bunch of fucking diddlers in high places. There's a lot of people that are exceedingly powerful that have been able to get away with some abhorrent stuff. But there's almost an exponentially larger amount of people who knew that shit was going on and didn't care. Even if you weren't involved, you just it wasn't worth it. And that's, I think, in a way, it's worse in a completely different direction.
I think it still should be punishable.
Oh yeah, because you knew it was going on, you didn't do anything.
You didn't say a single goddamn word to anybody that could stir the public.
It's ultimately that, like, money talks, man. Money bends all morals, and it talks. It fucking talks.
It's money. Are you sure? Are you sure it's not that they? Because I think it has something to do. They all worship. They all worship like a weird bullheaded god and sacrifice kids.
Oh,
that's what I thought I heard. That's what I thought. Like, aren't they all like Illuminati?
You kind of fucked with me for a second because I didn't realize you were doing a bit. I was like, oh, well, I see what you mean. I mean, like, some of them are pedophiles, yes, but the others that just talked to him, like, even after he was convicted, like, yeah, that was for sure just money talks, money connection talks.
But I was under the impression that this culture piece was, you guys were going to show me about how this wasn't like the degeneracy of a exploitative owning class who views human as like cattle to be exploited and used for their sick perversions. I thought they were doing this because they were evil, like they were just like evil on like a spiritual level. Don't they all serve the devil? Wasn't that what this was? Didn't they say they were going to like cut people up with scimitars and eat babies? Well,
yeah, about something like that. Eating them, they taste like cottage cheese.
Yeah, honestly, would eating like baby feces, like, who would want to do that? That's my question.
The ontologically evil, I guess.
That's not even a ritual thing.
It's
people
not.
with too much money than sense.
It's gross. Like,
here is the crux of what this culture piece is supposed to be about. If you have been in the occult world for 5 minutes since the Epstein files have really begun to take off and really get into the nitty-gritty of this being dropped, you have been inundated with an endless amount of voices telling you at every discernible moment, every time you have any bit of attention, the Epstein files are rife, just chock to the brim with proof, undeniable proof that Jeffrey Epstein and his cabal of abusive monstrosities that we can only with the most generous of terms call people, based on the sort of complete neglect of any sense of decency or morality, are a conspiracy of powerful occult ritualist figures. And if you believe any of this, I can only tell you it is because you have not looked at a single one of these fucking files.
Hey, I looked at a file of a bank transaction and the account said Baal, all right?
You got me. You fucking got me.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't BAA1.
They know Baal. That's all it was saying, I think.
Real Baal knowers.
Said we out here looking at our orbs.
Yeah, pondering them.
Just pointing these out. So far, the one, an accusation of George Bush Sr., along with some others, engaging in a satanic ritual act in which the person making the accusation claims that they were sliced up with a scimitar and he saw people eating the feces out of gutted babies. That's a really loaded one. That's a really crazy thing. That is an obscenely crazy thing to say, right? That's wild that happened.
Just to clarify, what we were told was that this person was on a boat. They saw white blonde women having intercourse with black men to the point that they were bleeding.
Jesus
that
Christ.
He was engaged in a ritual where his feet were sliced with a scimitar that left no scarring. And then he saw them eating the feces out of the guts of dismembered babies. Oh, and also raped by George Bush Sr. Okay, that's really crazy that happened, right? That happened, right? That's a thing?
Yeah, that was real. I was there.
I was there.
I was the gutted baby.
I was the baby. Yeah.
Yes, so there you go. This was a claim by someone. It was brought by a former FBI agent to the FBI. The FBI, for all the faults of that organization, did not take it very seriously. And I know in light of the rest of the Epstein file, well, right, because they're in on it. Definitely not because someone claimed that they were cut with a scimitar and it left no scarring, and there was no other evidence of any of this.
This also brought forth in part by a person who kind of had a history of propping up these satanic panic conspiracies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
who was it?
Oh, we don't have a name.
Oh, we don't? Okay. Oh, is that just like something it said in the files? I thought you
literally
were like saying you know who they were.
It says the name in the files.
Hi, Future Kennedy here. Editing this part for clarity because co-host and I talk past each other for quite a bit here until we understand what we're actually trying to say. The former FBI agent who referred this case is not named within the document. His name is redacted, as is the name of the victim that is disclosing this information to the FBI. Michael D. Moore, the creator of True Pundit, who co-host will bring up momentarily, is named in the document. Michael D. Moore also has a criminal history that resulted in an FBI investigation for copyright infringement. Michael D. Moore's True Pundit also has a very high opinion of the FBI, so you can understand why the FBI itself is not taking this very seriously to begin with. There's also a number of things that the victim said that we did not actually get to bring up at all, because they were not the really crazy stuff that we wanted to point out here. But just to list those off very quickly, he claims that he has taken hallucinogens and currently smokes marijuana. He was reportedly raped by his great uncle since the age of 5 and to the age of 22. This incident happened in 2000 on a yacht, and he was raped by both Jeffrey Epstein himself and Bill Clinton. He also claims that President Donald Trump was present at this 2000 yacht trip with his wife Melania, even though they were not married until 2005. He also claims that all of these incidents were recovered repressed memories that he did not remember until going to therapy in 2016. He offered no supporting evidence or corroboration, obviously.
Well, first off, kind of funny how this guy apparently witnessed something that deep stated, but also they were somehow alive enough to tell the tale.
Allowed to go tell the FBI about it, yeah.
That wouldn't have like caused immense blowback. That sort of thing got out. Also, like, I don't know, if you get fucking raped by the president in like a blood sacrifice ritual, are you really gonna go to the FBI?
Yeah, right?
I don't know. That
or did they go to them?
That's true.
Oh my god.
That is the single major claim of something that we could call a cult ritual within these files. There are intimations of cult-like behavior, again, from tips and unsubstantiated claims. There's a lawyer for one of the victims that claimed that there was cult-like behavior among a group of people that were definitely not Christian. Hey, Future Kennedy here. The lawyer I'm referring to is attorney Travis Walker. He filed a federal lawsuit against Jeffrey Epstein's estate in January of 2026 on behalf of an unidentified woman, declined to provide specific evidence of any purported occult activity that he was claiming, but said that it was religious, sinister, and definitely not Christian. Another attorney, Jack Scarola, who has represented nearly 20 Epstein survivors and spent 18 years litigating cases, says he has never heard of any of this. Scarola was quoted as saying that the survivors need total transparency and facts, not speculation fueled by an appetite for sensationalism. As far as the claims of anything that we could call actual ritual, that seems to be the number one thing. And it is, as we've said before, just the same sort of outrageous satanic panic claims that have been made against people that aren't wealthy and powerful just as well as the wealthy and the powerful. This is not anything new. This is the sort of thing that people do when they have these sort of, again, satanic panic-minded conspiracies about other people. It happened to goddamn people running a daycare, and it makes just about as much sense. There doesn't seem to be much to go on other than, yeah, this sounds really fucked up. Also, I was raped by George Bush Sr. Unrelated, by the way, that is the point to make, that he didn't say that George Bush Sr. was there and raped him at the time. He just said, also, I was raped by George Bush Sr.
It was Michael D. Moore, not to be confused with the filmmaker, who was the creator of True Pundit, which is a far-right, conspiracy-laden pseudo-news site.
So we're talking like Nazis, basically.
Yeah, the person claiming all these incidents was escorted to the building by this Moore character, and among other things, this person has had a very uneasy life, a lot of horrible things that already happened to them. There's no credible reason to see this as anything other than a bunch of hokum that was told to the FBI one time and then repeated in these emails. But that's not as interesting as saying, oh, they be eating babies. It's not enough that these people are sick perverts trafficking young boys and girls. They've got to be chopping them up with swords and stuff.
Hunting people.
Well, have you seen the actual file of it? Because it's sad, but at the very top of it, you see it's a response email from someone, and they said, "Thanks. I didn't realize Bush raped him too." Okay.
So I was trying to point out something that I think undermines a lot of this. Like, unless you don't actually believe in any of the wrongdoings of George Bush, either of them, I can't really see how this is that substantial. This is something Serene Waffles pointed out on the server, that's like, even if he did like actually eat like a bunch of babies' feces, dismembered babies' feces, and like rape some dude, does that really make him more evil than he already was?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy killed like 1 million people.
I mean,
I think so.
Well, I mean, it's abhorrent, but this is also a man who financed death squads in South America when he was running the CIA.
No, I think it's even worse in some aspects. Nah, man, there's people eating people. Fuck that. That's insane.
So, all right, just so you're keeping tally of actual claims that are trying to be backed up to support the occult conspiracy of satanic Baal, Moloch, Black Cube, Saturn worshipers that is the Epstein case. We have a bank document that said Baal, if you're willing to believe that that's definitely an L and not number 1. And then you're also willing to believe that the instances of it being used in his emails where we see BAA1 and BAA3. So I guess maybe it's Baal. That's a different god that they worship or something. And they did the backwards E to be cute or something. I don't know. So we have that. We have a known right-wing conspiracy person bringing a victim in to make the typical outrageous claims of satanic panic to the FBI. So what else could we have possibly found? You would think that people that talked so freely about the other things they were doing, especially in their just regular fucking emails, would probably mention some sort of, oh, hey, we're going to meet up to do the thing at least.
Hey, Jeff,
wink,
cool
wink, nudge,
robes
nudge.
last night.
Yeah, something like that. But no, we don't have any claims of those sorts of things. We don't.
A good question is, like, even if that is true, you notice how, like, the document never actually specifies what the so-called ritual was for?
Yeah, not
like, they
at
were
all.
just doing this for the fun of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a ritual in that they're doing stuff.
We can infer, like, oh, maybe they were trying to get more powerful, or like, I don't know, they just wanted to do it.
They have to placate their dark and terrible god. Yeah. He just likes when you do messed up things.
But like that's like the only thing that we can really take in, though, and that's still like guesswork, basically. Otherwise, as far as like what the point actually was, like, it's nowhere to be noticed. Nowhere to be found.
Because it doesn't resemble anything. And as circling back to the topic that we were discussing in the beginning, it's like the secret is out on occultism. Pretty much all the techniques and practices you can find, if not the exact thing, something that is similar enough you can wrap your head around the purpose pretty easily.
Wikipedia literally has a page divided by each century of known occultists, and it goes all the way up to the 21st century.
But then, meanwhile, whenever these discussions of the sort of satanic panic happen, whenever they start talking about the elites doing these disgusting, depraved rituals, it often looks pretty much like them just being gross fucking perverts and doing what you would expect them to. And then they make up weird stuff like they chopped somebody up with a sword and said some words. And then they ate a baby.
That's what they drop.
Yeah, and when you're like, well, what was this ritual for? And it's like,
just to be evil. That's the level that this ultimately comes down to, is that they seem to associate the idea of being into occult practices in some sort of manner with this ontological evil of, I do terrible fucking awful things.
You just do messed up stuff because you're a messed up guy.
Yeah, and it's magic for some reason. It's magic because it's spooky, even though all of the other things they've done are just as fucking evil in the grand scheme of it. You know, trafficking people.
You know, stuff that you can prove they did.
Yeah, things that they were talking about doing, essentially.
Yeah, all that stuff doesn't require anything. Like, you don't need to put a pentagram on top of it. It's already fucked.
Are there other mentions? One person, when we had our infamous moment of posting our balls on the table opinion of there is no major occult conspiracy among the ruling elite, said, well, they talk about metaphysics a lot in the Epstein files. So, would you guys like to hear some of the supposed metaphysical discussions of Jeffrey Epstein and other people?
Does he say, I really love Cartesianism? Because that would just be chef's kiss.
God, he couldn't get more evil in my book then.
Filthy Cartesian.
The thing with Epstein, before we get any further, is that, like, of course, you could probably find all these fucking little nuggets of information about this stuff, because the guy was like a pseudo-intellectual who was trying to find the secrets of life because he was so scared of dying. He was funding all sorts of weird, nonsensical bullshit because it was like, this might lead somewhere. So, like, the idea that he's having, like, stupid-ass metaphysical talks that don't make any sense or whatever, or it's just all him trying to, like, inflate his own ego, or he thinks it'll make him live longer.
And that gets to the conversation that I want to touch on here. From February 12th, 2018, so 8 years ago. A day and 8 years ago, Deepak Chopra.
That's a good song title.
Yeah, it is. Deepak Chopra sent this following email. A rock is the most solid example of a material object. However, before an object can be labeled a rock, it is an experience. It is a sensation, a color, a shape, a form, a gritty taste, a smell. These are perceptual activities in consciousness/awareness, known in consciousness, labeled in consciousness, and modified forms of consciousness. A rock is a modified form of consciousness. The same applies to a mountain or a galaxy or an atom. In fact, atoms, particles, and waves are even more abstract notions for modes of subtle knowing and experience in consciousness. The same principles apply to that which we call a hand, a brain, a body, a neural correlate. They are modified forms of consciousness. The entire universe and all manifest existence is a modification of formless awareness. Awareness, existence, being are synonymous. Form and formlessness alternate as eternal existence. This principle applies to all human constructs, including Big Bang, cosmic, and biological evolution. Manifest existence is a notion.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Exactly. This is the...
Yeah, like baby's first bullshit. I mean, it's Deepak Chopra, like Chopra, however you say it.
That's exactly what it is.
You've heard that. Yeah, I get it. Believe
Do you want to
me,
hear
like,
Jeffrey's response to that?
Did he go, whoa, that's so deep?
Worse.
Can I do DMT?
Thanks, Joe. I mean,
sorry,
Deepak.
But the rock is not a rock. It is a projection of a local awareness. When there is a critical mass of local awareness, it seems to be material, nothing more, as the rock is different to each consciousness, localized, smiley face.
I think my brain just like exploded.
I fucking knew that's what it said too, and I still
So
laughed.
he had to try to like one up.
The spiritual huckster. Yeah, he had to sit there and tell him, like, let me tell you why you're wrong about this. And then he fucking misspelled everything on top of that. That's the other thing you just have to mention about all the fucking Epstein emails is they're horrendously misspelled at all fucking times. It's really bad.
Part of why that Baal thing probably happened because nobody can fucking spell.
Can I defend Epstein for a moment on the spelling?
Take that quote out of
think,
context. Just repost it everywhere. Can I just defend
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
But my grandma is like literally 10 years older than Epstein. And I swear to God, her texting abilities are on par with that. Well, let me show you some bangers. What you got? What you got, Grandma? I almost said her name.
We would have bleeped it. It's
Gammy
okay.
Pink.
Just.
KKK, I need shower and grocery store. So jingle, close, and meet at hotel.
Okay. Smiley face.
Makes perfect sense.
You are fab. You are fab, Lois.
Okay, I'll give Epstein the pass on the spelling, I guess. He isn't. That is the other thing that does get glossed over is that not only has Epstein been doing this for an exceptionally long period of time, or had been doing this for an exceptionally long period of time, but he also is a very old man in the grand scheme of things. And it makes sense that he would be taken in some capacity, or at least have interest in these sort of spiritual huckster types like Deepak. Because as Pink said...
And also all that super male vitality.
Well, I mean, you joke, but like literally that was the sort of stuff he was putting his money into. He was really interested in having these sort of pseudo-intellectual sort of people around him and attempting to build off of it. He put a lot of money into the sort of like longevity research type shit that is really just there to take wealthy people's money.
Is Alan Watson the Epstein files?
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked.
Sorry, clarification. Not in it like he was talking to him. I mean, like, is he brought up?
There is a file that was sent to I almost called him our friend. I'm disgusted with myself for even getting close to that point. But there is a file that was
this
sent.
Isn't who I think it is.
Well, I don't know if you're going to get this one or not, but there's a file that was sent that mentions a lot of people, a lot of people. It is essentially a list of people that are a part of some sort of conspiracy. It's just a long list of people like, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, all that sort of type stuff. And it just lists off the names of, these people, and it doesn't really outline the idea of the conspiracy so much as it just kind of like presents as like, oh yeah, it's very clear that these are all the people that are in charge of the world and stuff. The bottom of it, there is a long list of essentially reading materials to learn about this sort of conspiracy. And Alan Watts is among that list.
Interesting.
There is also another person very close to this show that is brought
Anton Wilson.
Robert Anton Wilson. Yes. Robert Anton Wilson is brought up.
Okay, that's not who I thought it was going to be, but yeah.
So the Illuminati, the Illuminati Black Cube conspiracy is now referencing the guy who made the book that was mocking the idea of like the satanic Black Cube. And now, granted, Black Cube satanic conspiracy.
If Illuminatus had been written in the modern age, the Black Cube conspiracy would be a huge part of it.
It definitely would have made it in there. But, the idea of making fun of the overarching interconnected conspiracy, yeah, it's a bit silly, isn't it? Imagine also, how old is Epstein at this point that they're like, hey, man, maybe you should read some Alan Watts.
God, he was like, he was like 70 something when he died.
So when did this email come out? Because they're like, so they're telling Jeffrey Epstein that there's a conspiracy and all these people are connected, and he's not part of it.
Essentially, yeah.
He's not in the club yet, even though he's been doing this monstrous bullshit. It's like, what? So So now I have to believe that there's the crazy Illuminati conspiracy that's off to the side of all this messed up stuff. Jeffrey was just doing it because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, you know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of like the Turner Diaries and how it's like there's this like underground society of white supremacists who are like trying to they do overthrow the United States, but then even deeper than that, there's another level. And they're the ones secretly in charge. And it's like this guy who was like a guerrilla fighter, the Turner himself, is like the white supremacist guerrilla fighter. Yeah, Timmy Turner. But yeah, like he was like one of the head guerrillas. And then he still didn't know that the order actually existed.
Yeah, it's just
very weird connection, but that's what I'm thinking of is like Jeffrey Epstein's like run this underground shit, and then there's something even more underground.
And then here's the real.
We got to go deeper.
Yeah,
that's my problem too. It's like, god damn, you don't get to find out about Alan Watts until you've already been diddling kids for 20 years. What's going on?
He was old enough to have been around when Wilson was actually like a cultural name. It was sent in 2008, by the way. That was when the
2008.
2008.
So
yeah, and check it out. This is like it's literally the Astor bloodline, the Bundy bloodline, the Collins bloodline, the DuPont bloodline, the Freeman bloodline, the Kennedy bloodline.
Bundys?
Yeah,
wait, Bundy, like Ted Bundy,
Ted Bundy,
Al Bundy, like Al Bundy.
Oh, okay.
I
was like, what the fuck?
No, I think it is supposed to be the Bundy, Ted Bundy serial killer.
That would be so funny if like Al Bundy just had like Ted Bundy was like his cousin.
What are you doing, Ted?
Nothing.
Another secret conspiratorial group that we know very, very well on this show was mentioned in that same file. Would you guys like to take a guess?
Scooby-Doo.
Co-host?
The OTO?
The IoT.
No.
Right under Alan Watts.
Wow.
Did Nathaniel J. Harris write this email?
I don't know.
All right, well, what's the lore? Why were they mentioned?
They're just among the list of it just says it's literally something that says some of my other blogs.
Nathaniel J. Harris emailed Epstein? What is going on?
It says Matt of quote CC.
Wait, hold on.
That's the name of this person, apparently.
This was in 2008?
Yes.
All right, what was the date? All right, because maybe he might be clear. He might not have known. He might have just thought Epstein was this regular guy.
Pre or post
September 05.
Housing market.
Like he brought up the housing market, like that was what I was talking about. No, wasn't it like... Yeah,
hey,
wasn't he...
The Dow is
the
50,000 right
08.
now, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean to shout over you.
Whoever this Matt from CC is also had a great interview with Jesse Ventura, so...
Oh, not my state's governor.
Here's the thing. Also Bill Cooper is mentioned.
Wait.
He even gets an RIP.
Does it just say IoT or does it say the Illuminati's the Thanateros?
Illuminati's the Thanateros, parentheses,
oh
IoT.
My God, no way. Oh, that's terrible.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing to think about. Why does Epstein have someone saying, here's a list of the Illuminati families and their associates, and please look at the rest of my blog post? Is it possible that Epstein has some sort of weird connection to right-wing thinking?
No, what?
No,
crazy?
Not at all. Not at all. Why would he have it? He's part of the evil Black Cube conspiracy. They're enemies.
Yeah, can I bring this up? I was going to say this initially going into the Epstein stuff, but I think it's nice. It's apt to bring it up now since we're going to talk about. Presumably, we're going into how right-wing Epstein was. It's a tweet that I saw like right after the file dump that was like, man, it's kind of crazy reading through all this. The only thing these rich pedophiles were actually scared of were communists and black people.
Yep.
And democracy.
True. Well, that kind of goes hand in hand, though.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really have democracy without socialism.
That's almost the point, isn't it? Yeah. So far, again, this is the tally we have of weird occult thinking. We have super deep DMT thoughts with Deepak. We have the claims of George Bush raped me, and also I got my feet cut with a scimitar in a ritual that makes no logical sense for anyone that's ever done an occult ritual.
Being thrown out by a guy who made True Pundit.
Yeah, being thrown out by a guy who made a known conspiratorial right-wing blog.
Some guy telling Jeffrey Epstein that I have found, that basically talking to him and explaining like his version of the Illuminati connections that doesn't include Epstein. And then saying, look at my blog where I mention other like spooky woo-woo stuff.
So that's what we got so far. Do we have anything more concrete?
He bought a bunch of random books on Amazon.
Yeah, he bought a bunch of random fucking spooky books on Amazon. Pink, do you have the titles or any of that stuff? I don't have the notes on.
No, I don't. I could look it up though, because I found it really easily. All I did was type like I went to what was it? Not email, what was it called? Epstein mail, or what was the thing? Jmail?
Yep.
Yeah, jmail.com. Here, I'm looking it up right now. Just give me a moment. You can edit this part out. Jamie, can you edit this out? All right. Yeah, all I did was I typed in Magick with a K in the search bar, and it was the only thing that popped up. But yeah, December 24th, 2007. So this was like his fucking Christmas gift, by the way. I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
He probably bought it for someone else.
Oh, that would even be funnier. But yeah, I don't know what all of the books are, like, because they're full titles and it's cut off. Let me see if it says them in full. Nope. But yeah, he bought 5 books. Secrets of Western Tantra, Modern Sex Magic, The Jesus Dynasty, Chakra and Kundalini. Is that how you spell it?
Yeah,
or
Kundalini.
say it?
Yeah. Kundalini.
Kundalini.
And Ecstasy through Tantra.
Yeah.
Okay. What year was this?
2007, going into 2008. But yeah, all for the low price of, what was this, like $70? Like,
yeah,
altogether?
$70 for the Secrets of Western Sex Magic.
So
hell yeah.
So Jeffy is in his mid 50s at this point, and he is just now cracking open the sex magic book. It's like, all right, Jeffy, you've been a new Illuminati novice. You've served the Dark Lord well. You're finally ready for the Secrets of Western Tantra. You can buy it on Amazon. You could have done that the whole time. You didn't have to eat all those babies for us, but thank you.
You know who wrote The Secret of Western Tantra, right? If it's the one I think it is. I can't prove it, but that's the Hyatt book.
Let me double check.
Are there other books with the same title?
There's gotta be.
Yeah, there are other books with that title, but that is the most popular. If you Google it, it's the first one that pops up. I'm just saying. So
yeah.
So once again, someone that we quoted earlier in the first segment discussing conspiracy theory popping up now. So all I'm telling you now is think about this for a moment. Somebody who's allegedly part of the great occult conspiracy of the elites is referencing and reading the same fucking shit that we are.
Yeah.
If he even read it.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's based, frankly. He sounds really based, actually. Based and gay, Chad pilled.
And this is what it goes down to. It's like, you either have to go with this idea that it's like, yeah, these guys are all into the occult and they're just buying books off Amazon like the rest of us. And they're probably, if that's the case, why are they even buying books? Surely you could, Jeffy, you couldn't figure out how to steal some of those?
Yeah, I got the PDF
dead.
right
He's not
now.
getting the money, you know?
Well, that's the thing. At that level, why would you steal anything? You don't need to.
Because it takes 3 seconds to Google Secrets of Western Tantra
and
PDF.
then you have it instead of waiting a week for the book to show up.
Yeah, that's actually
and even longer
really
if it went to the island.
He's got email, so he's on the fucking internet.
He had connections. So the people that like claim that Christopher Lee had a fucking 20,000 occult books. Epstein actually got all of it. That's what it is.
Well, clearly not, because he was buying stuff off Amazon. Like, what's going on? What is this? Like, seriously, the idea that it's like, so you're okay with talking about like, thanks for sending that torture video, really cool, winky face, and the pseudo like jerk off intellectual bullshit with fucking Deepak. And all of this is basically right out in the open, but somehow the emails of like, hey guys, we got to make sure that we get the blood buckets ready for the satanic ritual tonight, just like that didn't show up. And then the most explicit bit of occult woo-woo stuff is like his Amazon receipt. It's a Hyatt sex book. The Christ Dynasty and the Joy of Ecstasy. It's like the type of bullshit that you would do to try to seem spiritual to huckster people or try to pick up chicks. Like, what are you doing? What is the game? How are you rich and so lame? Besides the fact that you're evil and rotted to the core, like that part, but it's sort of the Elon thing. It's like, how do you have all of this money and you can do all of this stuff and you're just so fucking lame?
You're an actual piece of shit.
It's like, yeah, besides the fact that you're a fucking monster and you're abhorrent, but it's like, you guys have all this time on your hands, you have all this money, you have all this influence, and like your idea of doing actual occult shit is to find like the typical bullshitty new age guys and then buying like some shitty books so that you can feel a tingle in your spine while you're jacking yourself off. What is this? This is your occult conspiracy?
Well, hang on. Maybe the right-wingers have something here, because we are looking at the wrong areas of occultism, because Jeffrey Epstein was Jewish. There is a long, storied history of Jewish mysticism, right? Maybe he didn't know much about Tantra. Maybe he's not big on ritual magic, but possibly he might be one of the secret Kabbalists that we have heard pulling the strings throughout history, as these crazed right-wingers are off to tell us. So I went and looked for gematria. Would you like to see what I found?
Sure.
Ahem. This is an email from a man named Mark Fisher. It is dated from April 21st, 2010.
Wait, the Mark Fisher?
Not that Mark Fisher.
I was about to get fucked. It's like,
he was that Mark Fisher, I believe, was already dead by that point.
Okay.
The paintings in storage. $6,300 bill and thrown in a year of storage. I got them reduced, and it's a bunch of more numbers. I'm not reading all this shit. And then photography still under negotiation, another number. Registration with the Basquiat estate, another number. Total $11,700. I will get you final numbers next week. Laws of philanthropy. There is a significant insight regarding to who, what, where, how much, and when to give. Through the millennia, our wisest sages have developed a high level of thought on this derived from the Torah. If you want to set up a 15-minute phone session weekly or so to start to learn this, we can do that. I think you will enjoy it and it will be of value to your efforts. If you want to learn other topics for a few minutes, meditation/prayer, gematria/Torah math, we could attach that to a short conference call. I'm going in for treatment today. I will be available by phone through Tuesday and online Friday. All the best, Mark. Now, Jeffrey Epstein clearly.
So he was talking. So at best, he was talking to people that might have known like the typical.
He was talking to a finance guy who was Jewish that was trying to sell him on some spooky, let me show you the spiritual secrets of philanthropy. That's what he was doing. That's what happened there.
Fucking wild.
Well, you know what's funny? Though is that Epstein was obviously like still a huge. This isn't necessarily related, but he was obviously a huge Zionist to the point that he did like buy into blood quantum and shit like that. What is that? That one email where he's like talking to like the eugenics guy, the Jewish eugenics guy. He's like, I am 98% Jewish by blood.
Yeah, he's very big on that sort of thing.
Which makes sense. He's literally a Mossad asset.
Yeah, I mean, of course he is.
And don't get me wrong. Add that to the list of like unsavory and sort of gross behavior and reasons that this person was awful and that he probably served the political interest of Israel, that sort of thing. Or even one not specifically for the nation of Israel, but for the same capitalist class of that country, as like the way that he worked and served, the capitalists of other nations and doing all this bullshit. This little inner circle of dirty bastards that have all the money in the world, sort of thing. But once again, not painting the picture of a satanic pedophile cult anywhere. You know, it's just not, it's really odd. Like, are they pedophiles? Yeah. Are they disgusting kitty diddlers? Yeah. Are they people who treated human beings as things to be bought and sold and abused and used for their amusement? Yeah. But they're not doing it because they worship the devil. They're doing it because they're sick fucks. It's a very different, It's a very different distinction.
If you look through the rest of his emails and the files, you will see all sorts of weird passing fancies of Jeffrey Epstein and his associates. You know, he likes talking to deep spiritual hucksters, but he also likes talking to mathematicians and, you know, again, Jewish eugenicists and all sorts of things, you know, weird political thoughts. He's consistently has these weird little things that he's into as a pseudo-intellectual type with a lot of money and a lot of free time. It is no more of interest to him than playing Xbox Live, because his main interest is making money and abusing people and letting them be abused by other people. That's his main interest. Everything else about this man is sort of background texture. It's just little things that he was filling his time with in between doing horrific things, and not just on the level of the horrible exploitative nature of what he's done to women and young people. On the other level of this is something that we have to touch on, because we've already pointed out that Jeffrey Epstein is kind of like a weird right-winger, and he's got a lot of weird right-winger connections and stuff. Are you guys aware of the emails that are just demonstrating that so much of the major right-wing push that took hold in this country pre-Trump and then during Trump and after Trump was at the hands of this man and the people that he is associated with? This part of this is not satanic evil conspiracy, but this is the sort of things that these people do.
The same type of scandalous conspiratorial silliness, you know, the idea that, oh, they were keeping children in a pizza place, that sort of thing. The idea of painting all of the elites as like satanic cabal, black cube, whatever the hells, that comes out of that same environment. The type of QAnon deep state cuts. It's almost in a weird way coming full circle. It's like now the same motherfuckers that sprung out of the fouled waters created by a hodgepodge of these fuckers are now the same people that are turning around and going, look, I was right the whole time. It's almost the calls coming from inside the house.
It is. It really is, though, in a lot of aspects.
But rather than looking at what was actually going on, you're once again creating the epistemological cartoon, as McKenna put it. This big bloated caricature picture of, oh, these guys sacrificed to children for their dark lord or whatever, and they all put on the robes and cut people up with a scimitar, and it's like they just... Where? When did they do? Like, where are you getting that? Other than a weird 3-line slide. If I'm wrong, and there's something where it's like, all right, guys, can't wait to see you all in the circle. I'll bring the scythe. But they seem to be really keen on talking about all this sick fucking shit, but that didn't come up. And then when weird, spooky, woo-woo stuff comes up, it's you've got a Hyatt book. Congratulations, you're 50. That's the part that really gets me, man. Are you 50 something? And it's like, I got my first Kundalini book. I got my Snake in the Spine book. I can't wait to try it.
The kids are saying it's all the rage.
Yeah, speaking of the kids being all the rage over things, you remember how I said, you know, most of this is about making money? We mentioned earlier that Jeffrey Epstein had lots of interest. You know, he's into mathematics, but he's into science. He's into a touch of the spooky woo-woo that you find here and there. But you know, he was also something that is very much associated with the right wing. He was a gamer.
Pink, can you confirm that he was a gamer? You seem like the expert here.
Yeah, actually I can. He was banned from Xbox Live in 2013.
Oh no, he said something about someone's mom, didn't he?
Yeah, and it goes kind of deep, but officially the reason why is because of harassment, online harassment, and also because of the fact that he was a registered sex offender, basically. So that's the official reason. The unofficial reason has to do with his connection to a certain man. You may have heard of him, Bill Gates.
Yeah. Mr. William entrances.
William Entertainment.
Yeah.
William Entertainment. I don't know where that came from.
William Entertainment Gates.
Yeah, Bill Gates, though, he had a little startup in a garage, and you might have heard of it. It's called Microsoft. He had a connection with Epstein.
Famous poonhound Bill Gates.
What happened at one point is Epstein gave him a Russian girl. And Russia is a whole topic in itself with Epstein. I'll get to that later. But he gave Bill Gates a Russian girl. And according to Gates, he got an STD from her and was asking for medicine, STD meds from Epstein. And he was also asking if he could like sneak them from Melinda so that he could keep fucking Melinda and she wouldn't know anything was wrong, but she wouldn't also get sick. Epstein, of course, didn't like this. He knows for a fact that his girls are clean, so she couldn't have possibly given him the STD. He had to have been the one that got sick and got her sick, and now he has to deal with the fact that one of his girls is sick. So they had a bit of a tit for tat over that. Eventually, it comes to a head where Bill Gates is just straight up falling out with Epstein and not wanting to lose a prized connection. Epstein tried to blackmail Bill Gates, just straight up hit him with the like, well, it would be a real shame if you cut connections with me because, you know, there's a lot of good things about you. And it would be a real shame if somehow some of the more unsavory parts that you want to hide started popping up in the media. This didn't go as well as Epstein had wanted because Bill Gates just straight up no contacted him and started banning him on everything, including Xbox Live.
So he was banned from other stuff?
Yeah, like all the Microsoft things associated.
He couldn't pull up
He
Excel.
didn't get no. He was a Linux dude.
I guess.
Him and Linus were they tight?
I have no clue.
I don't want to. No, I don't even want to impose that, to be honest, because that dude's really cool. I like Linus a lot. He's a good guy.
But it goes further. I just discovered this a couple nights ago. Midwestern Marks made a post about it. So thank you, Midwestern Mussolini. I didn't know this, but fuck it. I'll use their info. So it's an email exchange that was brought up between him and Bobby Kotick, the president of Activision.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And get what they're talking about. They're talking about ways to, this is in 2013, March 2013. They're talking about ways to increase profit sales on individual game product. Epstein, being the creep he is, he straight up says, like, I really want to get the children involved in the economy.
I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy.
Yeah. Well, you see where I'm going with this, though, right? Activision. Activision is the owner of Medal of Honor and Call of Duty. And Call of Duty Ghosts was coming out that year. And wouldn't it be an interesting note that in this email conversation where he and the president of Activision were talking about increasing sales through micro purchases, Call of Duty Ghosts was the first game to properly, involve microtransactions.
Oh, that's so gross.
Epstein is behind microtransactions.
That's fucking gross. Oh. And is he is he solely responsible? Probably not. But it's that question of I think
microtransaction that would go back to Team Fortress 2 hats and shit like that.
But it does make you wonder
one of the game
what level of influence he had sometimes with the people he was talking to, and maybe in that sort of the domino meme where it starts with the small one and ends with the huge thing of Epstein has a conversation with the CEO of Activision, and it's like, God damn it, now we have legalized loot box gambling in every fucking game.
Yeah, no, basically, if something seems bad, if there's any, just blame Epstein. He probably had a hand in it.
Somehow he's going to relate back to it.
I mean, we always knew that, games like Call of Duty were, State Department propaganda. That's not a shock.
That's absolutely
But it's also
true.
Epstein himself was personally involved in the enshitting of video games. Okay.
Let's look at the tally real quick again. The tallies for occult nonsense, misspelling documents that people read incorrectly, outrageous claims that
are being repeated from years ago that were not taken seriously then, should not have been taken seriously the second time they were repeated, and definitely shouldn't be taken seriously now.
Having deep conversations with Deepak Chopra and buying some books. That's what we got. So those are the 4 little tallies, and I don't think a single one of them really fucking counts. So we're going to call that, you know what, I will give him having the occult books. So we have one tally.
No, because it doesn't, because again, if you're 55 and you're buying a fucking Hyatt book, not even a magic book. Like, I hate to say it like that, but like Western Tantra, it's like, yeah, sex magic, but you're talking about like Hyatt's energized meditation, Neo-Reiki and stuff. That's what this is. It's not the same as, I don't know. I'll give it 1 point on that. We'll have 1 point for occult conspiracy. And then weird right-wing conspiracy to make money and indoctrinate children. We have Call of Duty, Activision conversation, and we have 4chan chuds. I mean, that's 2 right there. I'm just saying. So we're losing the battle for occult conspiracy. Oh, also, just because we have to say this, people have already brought this one up. It's not nearly as fun and conspiratorial, but it does lead to a little fun area. I believe it was Fortnite, Pink.
What are you talking about?
After Epstein was dead, he was still logged into the Fortnite account.
Oh yeah, no, it's like when Too Mad died, and like his Steam profile said he'd been playing Overwatch for 5 days straight.
That's how he died. And my problem is that it goes back to, it's like, at best, you're painting a case that Jeffrey Epstein might have had a passing fancy into some spiritual, metaphysical, woo-woo stuff.
On top of all of his other passing fancies of science and mathematics.
And being a fucking gross bastard.
Well, no, that's not a passing fancy. That was his main interest. That's his thing.
His main, yeah. But the problem is, it's like, okay, so what you're saying is maybe this guy did. And now I fully believe in the idea that quite easily weaponizing New Age hokum for the purposes of messing with people and fostering like maybe pseudo guru type shit on people sometimes. I could see that, but I don't even get that impression of Epstein from everything I've seen. It seems a lot more like glamming people with money and sex trafficking. But there could be some of that there. But what it doesn't present is any kind of occult group, and certainly not one of a organized and widespread nature. And really, that's a good thing, because if you're a woo-woo, do you want to be associated with these people? Do you want to be viewed like, oh yeah, this is what art people do? Do you even want to have to clarify, like, no, don't, I'm one of the good witches. Please don't burn me.
Epstein would totally be a guy that'd be like, nah, I'm not a witch, I'm a warlock.
Yeah.
I'm a high magician.
I could see him saying he was a druid. That would be my that would be like, I'm a druid.
He was associated very deeply with someone that we do know is a certified spook.
Who's that?
Steve Bannon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Steve Bannon, I know for a fact, is a spooky woo-woo motherfucker. He is.
Biodome Bannon.
Yeah, Biodome Bannon. Former high druid Steve Bannon has a lot of connections to Epstein. And all I can really tell you from that is that it seems a lot more likely that what they had in common was this continuing right-wing grifting push bullshit to make money. Because I don't think he was sitting there talking to him like, Jeff, let me tell you about Renee Guinan. I just don't see it happening. I just don't fucking see it happening.
Did you guys see you're totally okay to not have watched the whole fucking thing. It's really pointless. But that interview that was basically canceled because I think it was just before he died. And it was just released by the DOJ because it was submitted into their files.
Yeah.
The Steve Bannon interview with Epstein, and there's emails behind the scenes that show it was actually the whole thing that was being made. It was an attempt at a PR move to make his public image better, like try and revive it. Steve is a good guy. Watch this interview. That's basically their thing. God, it really reveals how dumb but enlightened he thought he was. How dumb he actually was in the thing. He acts like a fucking chud. Not like a chud, like a chud and a jock, basically. And like there's multiple points where he's like, yeah, I saw that in a movie. Yeah, what was the movie? Oh, it was like some action film. It's like, oh my God, dude. My favorite bit, though, is actually like right at the beginning. Biodome Bannon is asking him how he got like what was the first like major banking position he took on, like with the market.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
He claims, though, that like part of the reason he landed that position out of nowhere with no qualifications after getting fired from being a teacher was actually because of his extreme use of Texas Instrument calculators. And that was a very rare thing back in 1979.
Yeah. Bear Stearns, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm really going to buy that like Bear Stearns brought you in at such a high level because you used fucking calculators, dude.
Yeah, dude, he was just a fucking calculator wizard, man. That was
this dude knew how to spell boobies like over and over and over.
Yeah, no, calculators just didn't exist back then.
They were all still using their fucking fingers.
When did calculators first pop up?
53.
Well, let me look that up. Just accurate.
I've seen a parabolic graph on a TI 38 or 83.
I did see a guy basically program Mario to play on one once. That was cool.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that like Epstein has like the fucking Doom calculator. It's like you open it up. Yeah, he's got like all the games on it. He hides it from the teacher.
What's up, dude?
But he was the teacher. He's fine.
Well, he didn't do his job. He was more interested in his students, particularly his female students, than like doing his job.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah, hence why he was fired, actually.
Okay. I have a bit to end it on, but do we have anything else we want to touch on before we close it out?
He's horrible.
Nah, I think I've said about all I need to say.
I don't have anything really left to talk about that's like spooky anything, but I will say from a geopolitical standpoint regarding the current Cold War that we're in, it really is enlightening just how much Israel is a major factor in U.S.-Russian relations and how all of this like bounced around Epstein. There's not a whole lot of China in the Epstein files, if you notice, and that's like the part that I'm still kind of shocked by. I didn't think China would be super like exposed, but it's like borderline nothing. He was talking with like the heads of Tsinghua University in Beijing, and he was trying to have like a conversation with them about the opportunity to open a sister university in Boston. That never really materialized. And then he had connections to like some Chinese billionaires like Donald Tang, but really that's kind of it. China is like nowhere to be found in the files.
Yeah, they're really not.
Meanwhile, for like Russia, you got Sergei Belikov, Vitaly Churkin, Sergei Lavrov, and like a ton more. And these are like, this isn't like, they didn't have Vladimir Putin, but like these are people right below Putin that are like just casually talking to Epstein. Obviously, 20% of Israel speaks Russian, you know. So there's like this bouncing, both sides are like throwing shit at Epstein. He's the one that's like kind of being an information broker for both sides of this Cold War. He literally sent the Russians private information on Donald Trump leading up to him taking office in 2017. And then he also gets stuff like, for example, the one bit where they're asking for help. Epstein's asking like this Russian oligarch dude for help about some women from New York who are in Moscow right now, and they have some nasty things to say about him that could be exposing them. And he's like, all right, sure, I'll take care of them. You won't hear from them again.
Oh, shit.
That sort of shit.
Yeah.
No idea who that was about. It kind of reminds me of like how Israel is this like connective tissue with Syria and how Russia and the U.S. respond. The U.S. response to Assad getting overthrown was, oh, hey, yeah, we'll totally we'll take off the sanctions. We'll leave the Kurds to die. And, you know, Rojava's getting fucked right now. We'll stop supporting them. You can even like shake hands with Trump, but we won't formalize really formalize, relations with you because Israel is currently occupying the Quneitra and the Dara regions, which they took when Assad fell. And it was supposed to be a temporary thing. Spoiler, it's not.
Shocking.
Yeah, so they won't fully adapt to normalizing relations with the new Syrian government because that would require answering to that, big elephant in the room. So naturally, the new Syrian government is turning to Russia, and Russia's embracing them with open arms, all that, giving them the shit they need, but they won't give them anti-air. They won't give them AA stuff because that would entail going directly against Israel and, stopping their flyovers. So that's the equivalent, that's the comparison I'm drawing here, because that's pretty much the dynamics you're seeing, where it's we're going after the United States, but also we won't bother Israel, even though Israel relies on both of us. And regarding China, going back to China, there was I don't know if you saw it, but I initially theorized that, remember the I Love Torture guy? I Love the Torture video guy?
Yeah.
That was, the same day that, the Chinese foreign minister visited Israel. Maybe not the same day, but it was, a couple days apart. So I was that's very suspicious. But it turns out the guy was just, an Emirati dude. So I'm going to just say that was probably a coincidence. But how fucking in line is that an Emirati dude is yeah, I love the torture video. Yeah. Can you send more? This just happened, but the Central Tibetan administration condemned China because China was using Epstein to target the Dalai Lama, in propaganda. They're saying that they were using Epstein as a crutch to target the Dalai Lama. And so the Central Tibetan administration sent out a condemnation letter against China for it. So that's really funny.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's also disgusting, but
Could kiss my tongue.
I was gonna make this joke earlier, but the sad reality of it is that you guys know the 5 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah.
That's Epstein now. Epstein, within
it's
5
it's
people,
unfortunately 2 degrees.
Yeah, well, exactly.
3 degrees.
You can connect him to so many people, and that is the real devastating part of this. That is the point. That is why he was in this position. That's why he was able to do these sorts of things.
Wait. But you're sure it's not because they're all some kind of theistic Satanist or I don't know, a postmodern nihilist with the weird ceremonial cult order around them, and they got to do this to please their dark Baphometic lord? Or are we sure that's not it?
Diddler fucking demons.
Tell you what, here's my closing thoughts on this. I think what I think the big problem of this occult conspiracy theory around the Epstein files and Epstein himself is that ultimately it is doing a disservice to occultism, and it is doing a massive disservice to the victims. It is doing a disservice to occultism by once again playing off the sort of satanic panic thoughts that got many people that were not involved in this in any capacity into very horrific situations, and worse, has even in this modern age, within the last couple of years, led to actual violence against occult practitioners, regular people, just regular business owners trying to run spooky metaphysical stores, regular people that just happen to not fit the American Christian image. These people have been put into horrible situations. They've had violence committed upon them because of thoughts like this. And if you are someone who cares about occultism and cares about the spiritual, cares about the metaphysical, cares about any of this sort of stuff, your uncritical support of this and your belief that, oh yes, of course they must be doing it. Everyone's doing magic all the time, so clearly these people are also doing magic, is dangerous. It is actually going to get fucking people hurt because you want to play this stupid game of pretending that a guy that had all the money in the fucking world, all the connections in the fucking world, who was a Mossad asset, who had Russian political figures and business figures on fucking speed dial, who's talking to the guy from fucking Activision to put microtransactions into fucking Call of Duty. This guy, when you say shit like, oh no, he was clearly an occultist doing occult rituals and stuff, you are fucking going to get people hurt, you crazy fucking bastards. And on top of that, you're turning the actual horrible crimes committed by powerful people with incredibly influential backgrounds and positions of power into spooky fucking nonsense that's going to get people with pentagram tattoos fucking stabbed.
There's nothing good that comes of this.
This is fucking dangerous thoughts. I don't play this game where like, oh, well, you know, there's dangerous thoughts. But I mean this sort of game that you're playing because you've convinced yourself that magic is the most powerful central thought of the entire world and that the entire world must run on this background of these powerful people manipulating things through spooky means and not the very material realities that are in front of you. You are going to get people in this line of work, in this culture, in this community, fucked up. You are going to take the people that had actual things done to them by these powerful people and turn them into this bullshit martyrdom over the ontological evil of cosmic horror of Baal worshipping psychopaths because you see a building on a fucking island and you're like, oh, that's clearly a fucking temple where they're committing evil fucking rituals. You fucking see the Bohemian Grove video that Alex Jones posted and you're like, yes, of course, all the elites are doing these spooky nonsense. And you hear Richard Nixon talking about it and he's calling him the fucking F slur. What are you doing? What is this about? People in the occult generally have very high opinions of themselves and occultism. And I guess maybe in some way it makes them feel really special and important to be able to say that the most horrible thing that has happened in modern history, well, I mean, within reason, you know what I mean, but the most headline-catching media tell-all story of the last 20 years, if you can sit there and say that yes, this is about occultism, it makes you feel special, like you know something that they don't. Stop it. You're fucking ridiculous. Putting out this sort of idea without even knowing a bit about any of this, without knowing anything. I mean this because that's the point. We put in a fairly marginal amount of research into this. We really did. It wasn't hard to find any of this. And it's really easy to see that what this is powerful people with money, influence, and connections. And you deciding to make this about your stupid pet project of occultism, you, a regular working class person that is into this. I get it. We all take this stuff seriously. It's important. But no, it's stupid and you're full of fucking shit and you're going to get people hurt and you're going to fucking denigrate people that were actually victimized by this. Your uncritical support of this idea is stupid and it's dangerous. And I'm not going to respect you for it. And I'm going to tell you, you're a fucking moron. And if you need any further proof that there is no major occult conspiracy within this, let's just try this real quick. We're going to look up the word occult and see what happens. We're not going to go through all the files. We're going to look at his emails. Let's just see. Because, you know, as an occultist, I use the word occult all the fucking time. What pops up? Okay, interesting. All right, would you guys like to see where the word occult appears in Jeffrey Epstein's emails?
Sure.
I looked at your urine test and you do not have blood in the urine. The dipstick showed occult blood, but under a microscope, no red blood cells were seen. That can occur when you work out and have muscle, myoglobin, in the blood, which is normal. Can also occur if you have muscle trauma.
It's dope that in blood. That's what that's called.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'll give you that one. There's what in my pee? Oh my god. yeah, that's kind of funny. I'll give you that one. That's pretty funny.
Apparently people are saying Epstein is alive in Tel Aviv.
Because of course he is. He's playing Fortnite still.
Their evidence is that there's a guy in Tel Aviv that looks kind of like him, but with a big beard.
Wasn't that the same?
The Hitlers in Argentina thing. There's loads of those. Tupac's in what? Cuba? Was that it?
Yeah, Tupac went
There's
to
always
Cuba.
variations of that.
It's just so easy to fake your death and move to another country. It's the easiest thing in the world to do.
I mean, to be fair, how many witnesses were there in the jail cell? Just saying.
Oh my God.
Like maybe they brought him out and he was just playing dead. If there was someone that actually fake his death, it would totally be Epstein, though.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone was going to,
I don't think he's alive, but like compared to like Tupac and shit like that, you know, he absolutely would have. He had reason to, honestly.
Well, yeah, and in a general sense, you can imagine a scenario where something like that would happen. That's just something that, again, it's conspiratorial thinking, but there's a logic behind it, unlike other things that we've talked about today.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had. So you're welcome to run the outro, Jamie.
Given the extreme length and depravity of this episode, we're going to do the quickest palate cleanser in the world. Palate cleanser of How Goes the Work. Co-host, you doing anything fun? No?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Pink, you doing anything fun?
I did a sigil working and now I'm unemployed.
Oof.
I was trying to do better at my work and I'm now employed. That sucks.
That's brutal. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm joking.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna feel bad.
So sometimes the only way to get better at a job is getting promoted to customer.
Yeah, now I'm in the army. Now I've joined the army.
I've been playing Fortnite with my friend Jay Ep. Don't know anything about that. With all of that said,
this has been Chaos Magic News, the only podcast that's I'm sorry, bro. We're an evil cult this whole time.
We tricked you.
We got you.
Damn it. How do I always end up like this?
If you too, like Pink, would soon be made to dance around the black fires, you could go to chaosmagicnews.com and find more. I don't even know this. Whatever, you know it. There's episode links. There's things for our interview series. Interviews are coming back. We're at the top half of the year. That means interviews are going to start coming out again. The occasional article. We're on all of the social medias at Chaos Magic News, and if we're not there, try CMN Pod or Chaos Magic News Pod. If you want to get a hold of us and tell us how wrong we are and how we're part of the conspiracy, you can find us at the Chaos Magic News Discord, where you can talk to cool people like Pink, too. He's a bit nicer in text form, I think. But I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. It was really nice having you on, actually.
I'm one of the more disliked people, actually, but we'll leave that aside. I don't even know what I'm doing here, to be honest. I was kind of surprised to be asked to join this. I mean, I don't do a lot of magic stuff in reality. I like the conversations, and I was then held against my will and forced to do this.
Yeah, at gunpoint.
Yeah, I got a shotgun mic at my face.
Yeah. Pink, do you have anything that you would like to plug? Or are you just along for the ride?
I'm just along for the ride and hoping to get off.
All right, cool. If this somehow touched your heart and soul and you would like to support the show in a financial way, we do have a Patreon for $5 a month. You can help us break even on the massive cost of keeping this ship floating. But you'll also get access to all of our neat little bonus content. We do occult iceberg videos, and we did the Zoetic Grimoire. We do watch-alongs where I found another satanic panic instruction video that I think I'm going to try to get somebody to watch with me. I think we're going to do a thing for Beyond Lemuria soon too. But either way, you'll find it up there. It's just a little thank you for doing the thing you do. And you also get your name read right here.
Thank you, Ceos93. Thank you, Pope Loki Satyr the 23rd LLC. Thank you, Supremely. Thank you, Alexander. Thank you, Acolyte 1 of the Ice Magic Meditation Society. Thank you, Curse T. Thank you, Fyodor Krasny. Thank you, Venus Christ. Thank you, Tent Athena. Thank you, Bearded Vegan. Thank you, Treymov. Thank you, Tangy Darling. Thank you, DD Destruction. Thank you, Toziel Obscurus. Thank you, Lavender Ghost. Thank you, Tommy Kelly. Thank you, Clodius. Thank you, Eric the Wizard. Thank you, Marcio Mendoza. Thank you, Archaic. Thank you, Sneaky Llama. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Malius. Thank you, Coffin Emoji, Sparkle Emoji. Thank you, Eli Cash. Thank you, Debbie McPherson. Thank you, Rowan of Birch Groves. Thank you, me. Thank you, Inko of the Psychedelics. Thank you, the Frog from Chrono Trigger. Thank you, Eamon Nux. Thank you, Benny Adeline. Thank you, Labzod. Thank you, Flint Dibble. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Helicon. And thank you, Timo Sidon.
By the way, when did Gary leave? Gary just left at some point. I'm just now noticing.
I think it's just.
I was like, I hadn't heard him in a while.
Yeah, it's just late, so fucking, you know, it's how it goes. We all went way too long in this. I apologize to you too, Pink. I'm sorry we kept you up for so late.
No, I'm fine. I enjoyed this. I actually did something productive today.
Well, everybody, just if you bared with us through all of this, God bless you. Thank you. You really do make it worth it. And I guess that's about it. Do we want to give Pink the last word?
Yeah, Pink, would you like the last word?
Well, what could I say? Don't rape kids. That's a bad thing.
What a great message. Yeah, what a great message.
Yeah, how could you say something
brave
so true?
Brave take.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
On Little St. James.
Jesus.
This will be the late Valentine's Day special, so we'll save that for the episode beginning.
We should not have all the Epstein stuff
on the
attached to the Valentine's Day episode.
that is the Valentine's Day gift. Oh shit! You know what? I should have looked into that. If he did anything Valentine's related.
Turns out Epstein funded all of the Hallmark movies.
Well, some of the shit I'm gonna drop is gonna be in that tier, so